Want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
If I can't do it, homie, it can't be done.
VIP me put in my pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, money, money.
Hold out here for a pill. Really tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
What up? What up? It is Alex, the fantasy football hustler, back at you. We got another episode of Elevated Sports Talk. We got a bunch of news that is going to help you win week 6. We're going to be talking some injury fallouts. We're going to be talking some pickups, offense, and IDP. And hit that subscribe if you're brand new, because it is going. I'm going to be your biggest resource throughout this season, hands down. And let's see who's up in the chat. Sorry for the tardiness, guys. What up, stranger? Rush Lord in the house. Rush. And yes, that is it for the Jets coach. Robert Saleh has been fired.
That was stupid. How the hell you gonna get fired on your day off?
You got to be a stupid motherfucker to get fired on your day off.
Yes, so the Robert Saleh experiment is over. All right. They don't like it. They don't like the way that things have been going down over there. There's a lot of people that blame Aaron Rodgers for the way that things go, or things have been going. And guess what? The Jets don't share that same opinion. And Robert Saleh is gone. With Emil, what up? What up? Emil said should have fired Hackett instead of Saleh. Why do you say that? I short, will they move Rodgers to the player coach now or half owners? Toker 1J, which one of you Who Dat fans would rather see Rattler start instead of Hainer? Yeah, maybe he's not ready though. Mondo said Saleh's out of there. What up, Derek? Salute. Now I see what's messed up on my end. And Pazik, what up? Bucky Irving, Rashad White, or Tank Bigsby this week. Well, you got to remember Tuesdays where it's more about waivers than the starts and sits. I'm literally not even in start and sit mode just yet. I will answer your question, but just remember, do not take a Tuesday answer as a final answer. I don't want to be judged off my Tuesday answers. All right. And let's go see the schedule. Let's see. Infinity said Robert Saleh fired. What the fuck, man? I mean, the Jets aren't looking good so far. And people could blame Rodgers, but Rodgers is not all to blame. I've been saying a lot of it is him and the wide receivers not being on the same page. And some of that is his fault, but not all of it. And Freedom Espo, what up on Rumble? So let's see. Bucks play the Saints. And who the Jags play? Jags play the Bears. I'm going Tank Bigsby, man. Going Tank Bigsby. The Bears have been a better matchup than the Saints have been for the most part. And I mean, even though last night, Kareem Hunt was able to do his thing. Yeah, I'm going to say Bigsby, the way that he's been running lately. JP's, he said football, D-Gens, young and old and in between. What it do? What up? What up? Ghost Monkey, what up? Toyota one in the house. What up? What up? Minnesota Marty in the house. What up? What up? And Infinite, I shout you out, Infinite. What up? What up? Infinite's down 5-0 in my 16 team, 53-man roster. Thanks for all your good lineup advice. Appreciate you, homie. Marty said, but he is the head coach, and I think it's too early to fire the guy. The team has made the Super Bowl. Has a team ever made the Super Bowl after firing a head coach mid-season? I'd be shocked. I mean, let's be honest. Are they a Super Bowl contender right now? Like, hell no. Hell no. And Strainer said, hey, Bengals, pay attention to the Jets. Get us a better coach. Yeah, defense is struggling over there. JMW, wonder if the Jets are going to chuck a massive amount of money to Bill Belichick. I doubt it. I mean, the one reason that would be good to do that is he knows the East. You know that, dominated it for years. Tucker one, who's ready? Who is ready from the Saints? Is that a damn sure ain't DA? Yeah, right. But also the thing is, I mean, we just got to think of it from a realistic, standpoint. I know the Saints are doing good right now, but Spencer Rattler, his 4th round pick ass. I mean, is he NFL ready in week 5, week 6? Because like you could ruin this kid even faster than, you could ruin him in a couple games with bad schemes, bad coaching, bad line play, whatever. There's like so many reasons and so many things that can just really screw over your rookie quarterback if you put them in there too early. Marco, what up? He said, salute to the past. What up? And Big Bando, what up, homie? Dowdle, Bigsby, Najee, pick 2 to play this week. Just remember, dude, I'm not in start and sit mode right now, so make sure that you come back and ask this again. I will answer it, but I don't want to be judged by my Tuesday answers. And I think that I'm going to sit Rico versus the Lions because the Lions have been so stout against stopping the run. I think before they went on by, they were giving up like the least amount of points to opposing teams' running backs. Rush Lord said, hush, drop JSN for the following one player on waivers. Ford, Bigsby, or C, do nothing, save the number 1 waiver spot. Dude, I'd almost make that move for Bigsby. I mean, it's an almost because I don't know what your wide receiver core is necessarily like. I don't know. Like, if you throw JSN out there, does that make him the number 1 waiver claim for like the other teams for wide receivers? Is there anybody lower on the totem pole that you might be able to get rid of for Bigsby? Chubb's coming back soon. It's probably why Ford was already dropped. Infinite, I'm trying to trade an 0-5 team for a player. He wants Brock Bowers, Bucky Irving, Blake Corum, and Gibbs. I need to help and have all 5 rounds. How would you get any of these players? With picks. You want players? Like an 0-5 team should not be trying to trade you for players. They should be trying to trade for picks to rebuild. So I'd be throwing some firsts. That's what I'd be trying to do. Big Band also, what are we thinking about Juju? I think he's rosterable. That might be about it, though. Marco, would be funny if Billy B finally lands in New York. Took away more than 20 years. Yeah, I wonder if there's just like bad blood between the Jets front office and him, because I think it's the same front office, right? Where he kind of flip-flopped on him. Stranger Bengals defense. I put on Turpin more than Ludini. So the defensive drafting free agency has been mostly junk the last 3 years. Yeah. I mean, I can't think of. Well, I mean, Jordan Battle and Dax Hill kind of sucks because Jordan Battle, we think he's going to be good. And then they bring back Von Bell and Jordan Battle's not even playing. And Dax Hill, I don't know. You tell me, stranger, was Dax Hill hella suspect at corner? Like, I didn't really watch him that closely, but I know last year for fantasy, She was doing fucking insanely well, fantasy-wise, at the safety spot. Watt said, I'm going for Chubb Rat. Yeah. He said, thanks, bud. I've forgotten. He said, what up, what up? Hell yeah, man. Get him. Pick him up.
Pick him up.
Big Band traded Amari Cooper for Chubb, and I feel good about it. Okay. All right. Edwin, what up, homie? If it's is a first and a second pick enough to get Bowers and Irving, I don't know. But I would try. I would try. Because I feel like people who have Bucky Irving, you can get a second rounder out of him. I mean, that's fair for sure. Because, Bowers for a first, I mean, it really just depends on the person's like school of thought. Because if you picked Bowers with a 2024 first rounder, I'd want more than a 2025 first rounder, for him. But that's just me. Don't overpay, in the first offer that you send. You don't even know if the dude's even going to send it. Evans and bro, what the fuck? Say Olave single digits, man. Yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens. Did you guess that Kamara was gonna suck and that Shaheed would have like the only touchdown and that Derek Carr would get hurt, because there's like a lot of things that happened in that game. But yeah, like no matter what, I keep saying it, trust your gut. Trust your gut. If your gut is right more than mine, trust it. Said didn't know McDuffie was the best slot corner in the league. Well, he's not the best slot corner in the league. I don't even think he even plays the slot corner. He might have followed Olave, but I don't think he plays the slot, does he? Yeah, no, it's Cooper or Connor, that plays the slot. McDuffie's their number one. Like, he's dope. Yeah. Is he going to shut down everybody that he plays? I doubt it. Let's see. I mean, it's been all ugly for like everybody playing the Chiefs. Papa J, what up, what up? Let's smoke it up. Tucker 1J in the Debo League. I won. There are several players I'm interested in from his team and undecided. Olave, Shaheed, Mayfield, Bigsby, Pitts. I mean, I definitely wouldn't want Pitts. I mean, it probably Mayfield. I mean, it all depends on your QB sitch. Sure, said Hill did good at cornerback in real life. I don't know for fantasy. I mean, for fantasy, it's a little up and down. I mean, cornerbacks aren't usually the best for fantasy football. We like to target the safeties and specifically the strong safeties, the box safeties. Said problem was it took till year 3 to use Hill right. I mean, was he not good last year as a safety, like in real life? Because like, I don't know, at least the times when I remember, like you watch way closer than me. I watch like bits and pieces of every single game, good percentage of every game, but I don't watch every single play from every game. I mean, fantasy-wise, in the beginning of the year, he was fucking killing it. Just, like, insane amount of tackles. And, yeah, I think even, like, through the first couple weeks, I swear he was, like, the leading safety. And most of it because of tackles. Big Bando needed Kelsey to get 30 last night. Bro, what did he get? Like, 29? Let me go check. Because I know Kelsey did good last night. Come on, man. It's just being greedy. Oh, 16. That's kind of whack. I mean, 9 for 70. Yeah, no touchdowns, though. The best game of the year, though. And Russia has my team. Bottom 3 wide receivers are JMO, JSN, Pittman, so I can drop one for Biggs. We have so many wide receivers. Yeah, I'd probably drop JSN unless you can do unless you could do some kind of like 2-for-1 trade, where you trade JSN plus one other person, you tier up, and then you get that extra spot because you traded away 2 people for 1, and then you go out and pick up Bigsby. That way is not the quicker way, though. But if you get it done today, who knows? Big Band on a 2-week losing streak. Let's turn that around. Yeah, McDuffie, not the slot for sure. Eli the Reaper, what kind of player do you think it would take to trade for Tank Dell? I have no idea. Like, you got to go look at that person's roster and go see, like, would they even want to trade Tank Dell? Where's their weaknesses? You got to try to fill their void. Juggernaut in the house. Who was that? And I'm not just I told you so or anything. Just funny how I stressed 10 points from an alpha, and it actually came true. Yeah. And yeah, I didn't think that you were like rubbing it in my face or anything, but yeah, I just, if you really feel it in your gut, because I don't have a lot of Olave, like almost none. So there's certain guys who it's like, yeah, I'm paying attention to, but it's like some of these guys are hard to guess correct, Quincy, what up? Superflex League, pick up Drake May, my QBs, your Fields, Rodgers. Would you drop Rodgers for Tua until Tua comes back? You don't have anybody else that you can drop. I'm okay rostering 3 QBs that got certain points when there's all these bye weeks, but you got to be trying to trade them. Eli the Reaper said McDuffie's nasty. I bought a bunch of his rookie cards, and that kid was special. He's a beast, man. The Chiefs have been doing really good at drafting DBs over the last couple years. Like, they drafted L'Jarius Sneed as a safety and moved him to corner. And fucking he's like the best corner in the league, or at least close. And Infinite, I got Ingram, Kohler, Ertz, and Hurst as my tight ends, and I have to start 2. Man, you know what's funny? I hate the tight end position so much that I eliminate the tight end from my leagues. Like, it's insane that people play 2 tight ends, because now, like, legit, the people who win just have the best tight ends, right? I can almost guarantee that the people who win in that league have the best tight ends. Yeah, preseason says a lot. Yeah, we'd fucking get all the starters playing. So when I was going through all my leagues this morning, and the team I'm going against in my Yahoo league has all the Packers players, even the bench. What the hell? Like, legit, like their team is like actually like 100% Packers, or just like a shitload of them. Big Bando had like 14 going into the half, was hopeful. Yeah, second half adjustments are a biatch, man. Because, like, yeah, he didn't get shit in the second half. Second half was actually really boring. Really fucking boring game. Eli the Reaper, what type of player? Already said that. Infinite, will you be telling the 420 crew about the injuries and inactive list this Sunday as well? Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we're going to go through, some injury fallout. And, but yeah, we will, Sunday for sure. Like, we're going to have everything, like always. Marco, the only time Alex was ever wrong was when he thought he made a mistake. Watt said Travis has a bye week. I need a tight end. Do you think it is likely that we'll get some action this week? Well, who do they play this week? Good question, Aquato. Commandos. Commandos have been pretty tough against the tight end. But it really just depends on your option. So would I go pick up Likely over Joe Schmo? Like, yeah, sure. I do like Conklin on Monday night. Restaurant funny story. I dropped Bigsby for JSN Sunday morning. And how come I'm not laughing? I like a trade idea. I'm going to give it a run. Yeah, I mean, that's the best way, because then you don't drop a guy like JSN. Then at least you like get one player back who you think is better than the 2 players that you send off, and then you got the extra spot, and then you go get Bigsby. But easier said than done. But like, that's what I'd be trying to do more often than not. Cause, what up? Josh Jacobs for Brian Thomas Jr. I really like Brian Thomas Jr. If Jacobs is like a bench player for you, Brian Thomas Jr. would be a starter, yeah, all about it. If Jacobs is a starter, like one of your starting 2, and Brian Robinson is not going to be like one of the top 2 wide receivers on your team, I'd probably advise against it. Quincy, you can only roster 3. I forgot what the question was. Well, I don't know, but who's your third though? You said Fields and Rodgers is who you have right now. That's only 2 by my calculations. Big Bando, Texans, Chargers, or Chicago defense this week. Man, you did not see my video, huh? Because it would be, I had both the Texans and the Chargers there. Texans were my number 1 pickup of waiver wire pickups. But I think I would probably go Chicago versus Jacksonville at home. Hate that Olave was there right in front of the jet. No choice but to take him. Yeah, it fucking sucks, dude. That's crazy. All the Packers, huh? Edwin said, think the Commandos giving up the booty this weekend. Yeah, but I think their offense can stay in the mix. Debating Zay over Godwin, Olave, and Reed. I just don't know. Like Washington, they're susceptible to the run, man. If the Ravens start running the ball and they can like do whatever they want in the run game, it's not going to be a good Zay Flowers game. You see, they kind of got slowed down a little bit last week. Compared to the week before. I mean, he only has 80 or 90 yards this past week compared to like the week before where he went for damn near 200. That's the difference. If Derrick Henry can be shut down a little bit, he still handled biz. But if he could be slowed down or shut down, it's not going to be a Zay Flowers game. Let's see. Dude. What's that guy's record? Is he over? Well, actually, I mean, he might not be over, right? It's not like he had any buys or anything yet. A tag, what up? Evan Ingram, likely Brenton Strange or Otten for this week. Ingram if he plays, Strange if he doesn't. Papa Dre drafted Bigsby, Miller, Charbonnet in my startup dynasty year 1. Came back and grabbed Benson this year in the rookie draft, trying to set up for the next couple of years. And it's what you got to do. What you got to do. And Joe C, what up? I had a hole on the D line, so I traded Alec Pierce for DeForest Buckner straight up in Dynasty IDP, where I have DK, Godwin, Brian Thomas Jr., Saheed. I'm not mad at it. And Watt said likely or Otten. Probably likely. A tag when you think Tua comes back, and if he comes, I mean, he said he's coming back. And do you think it's a smart move to snatch Tyreek Hill? What's Tua miss? Like 2 weeks so far? I mean, let's hope he gets back in a few. Or actually, wait, was that week 2 that happened? I don't even know how many weeks Tua has missed, but he's got to be getting closer. Quincy Field, Rodgers. Oh, and Drake, man. I don't know. I know it's a dynasty league, but if Drake May and Tua are out there on waivers, I'm very confident that you could drop Drake May. And I'm very confident that you could drop Drake May and he'll still be available there if you want him back in a couple weeks. And Big Bando, realistically, how much fab we think Juju is worth? Well, here's the thing. Reality is out the window. Like when people start getting all these injuries and big bye weeks start coming, you got to drop. I'm sure you got to drop at least 50% because there's going to be people who think that Juju is going to be the number 1 for Patrick Mahomes moving forward. So you got to pay accordingly. 50%, I'd say, and throw that extra dollar, whatever that extra dollar is. Don't throw 30, throw 31, and I'm just throwing that out there as a number. 50%, though, is what you should be looking to spend. And Big Bando said he might be the number 1 right now. Maybe, but, when Travis Kelce is the number 1, is that number 1 wide receiver super valuable all the time? 2 and 3, yeah, not too shabby. Love's had some good games. Evan said, good point. Think the Commandos could play mistake-free enough to answer long scoring drives. I mean, they've been playing good enough right now. Yeah. But the more that time goes on and the more that teams start scheming specifically for Jaden Daniels, QB spies and all these different types of things where you're throwing DBs at them from the blind side and all this kind of stuff. Like we're going to see some growing pains from Jaden Daniels. What team is going to, what team is going to scheme him the right way to where they just completely, dominate. Because they're looking dominant right now, but like, the fucking Browns are the Browns, man. They just suck. So I'm not, the defense, they look like the 85 Bears versus the Browns. I don't think that's going to be them every week. Evan said, because 1 3 and out, and they could be down 2 TDs quick. Yeah, but see, like that doesn't, that's actually good for Jaden Daniels. That means he's going to be throwing. 3 weeks. He got hurt in week 2. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember if Buffalo was week 2 or week 3. Yeah, he's got to be getting closer. Eli said the Jets just fired their head coach. Maybe Hall goes off now.
That was stupid. How the hell are you going to get fired on your day off?
Because, yeah, Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, those are the guys on offense. Like, both of them need to be eating or the Jets really aren't going to do good. Since I have no doubt the Ravens score a ton, but the Commandos versus the Ravens defense is a tough test. Well, yeah, for sure. Definitely. Because we're talking about a defense that completely shut down Josh Allen a couple weeks ago, right? Like, we know that Jaden Daniels isn't on his level yet. Ravens allow 60 rush yards per game total. Yeah, you cannot. Let's see if he could top that by himself. Because I would assume that it's not going to be some insane running game for Brian Robinson Jr. or for Eckler. I would assume a lot of receptions though for each guy. So I bet their floors kind of stay decently, moderately high, because they both get reception work. Eli started 0-3, now 2-3. Let's go. Supposed to catch a dub in week 6. Let's go. Never too late to turn it around. You damn right. And Crispy said, Vamp says, give me Higgins. There we go. I made the move already for you. Go double check that everything's good over there. Juggernaut Juju should have caught that pass. He's trash. He is a fucking bum, dude.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
He's a bum then, and he's a bum now. Edwin said, pro tip, you have to sweat Monday Night Football. Bet on whatever would make you lose. Better to wipe the tears away with money, right? Right? It's nice to hedge your bets a little bit. And Edwin said, or you just paid for the win, which is a fair trade. There you go. And Marco said Salah's next landing spot would be Cleveland. I don't know, man. Like I really feel like Cleveland does not need a defensive-minded head coach. Like their defense is fine. Like you really need to get someone to completely overhaul this offense, like somehow. Because I think that's what Cleveland's problem. Well, besides Deshaun Watson, but I think that's been Cleveland's problem over these last couple years. Is like they're going like they're filling the defense like crazy, and that defense is dope, but man, their offense is just trash. And now they're having all the injuries to the line. Like that's not helping anything. Yeah, I swear. Like I don't know about linemen, but I swear that the last fucking good draft pick that Cleveland made on offense was Nick Chubb. Right? Like, is there anybody else? Because we could say Baker and all that, but like they failed. They failed with that experiment. It wasn't good, didn't end up being good for them. And Eli said Juju's garbage. Do not trust him in fantasy. Only trust him on TikTok. You ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying. Edwin said Saleh, so sorry, bro, as a head coach. Yeah, he needs to go back to being a DC. Like there's some guys who you're not made to be a head coach, And I really feel like, it's kind of weird that the NFL like works the way that they do. Because I feel like guys like Shanahan, like McVay, like Belichick, and like, just Andy Reid. Like, it doesn't need to be some fucking former player who just played like 10 years ago to be a head coach. Like, those guys probably make some of the worst head coaches like in the league. I'm not saying that they're all bad because they're players, but I'm just saying like as a DC, as an OC, I think I see some of these guys thriving more than being like a head coach. Like head coach, you just have to be a manager of so many things that you can't even focus on the thing that you're actually great at. And he's great at defense, you know, and like their defense, even though they've been looking good, you know, they've been a little susceptible to some things. Like Sauce can't do everything. I know he had a couple injuries over there, but you know, Mike Tomlin, perfect fucking example. I mean, defensive guy, but he's so good at like managing his whole staff, like getting all the players to like buy in. Like that's like another thing. If like every single player is not bought in on what the head coach is doing, like that head coach just shouldn't even be there. Because like you have to get a guy who can rally all the troops. Solid going home to San Francisco. I don't know what the contract is with San Fran, but it's almost better not to go to San Fran. Like they're already doing things over there. It's like you could look at what Brian Flores is doing over with Minnesota right now. Like that shit's gangster. That is gangster, man. Like someone who is damn near exiled, about to be exiled from the league, and now he's coaching potentially the best defense in the league in his second year coaching that defense. And the moves that they made, I'm not sure, you know, how much of input he had on the guys that they brought over, but man, they're killing it. All their new additions, killing it. I mean, maybe not killing it because Grenard's doing okay, but like I'm thinking of Van Ginkel specifically, killing it. Cashman doing good for what they need him to do. Sean in the house. What up, my brother? Let's go. Let's smoke it up.
Roll a fatty for this pimp daddy. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. All right. Fire 'em up.
Guys, let me know the volume on the sound drops. Let me know if it sounds good or bad. I appreciate it. Or loud or low or whatever. That's what I mean. Offer flowers for Jason if he decides. I can offer flowers and Pittman for Brown. What do you think? I hate it. Remove that trade. Remove it. Hurry. Okay. Now I got a question for you, Rush Lord. Tell me when you remove that trade, and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking. And Sean said, a smoking a pancake. I'm the bong in the blitzen. He said the only DC to have a great turnaround head coach is D'Amico Ryans. Yeah. And they were already on the come up a little bit, but yeah, I mean, you get CJ Stroud and he ends up hitting. You know, yeah, but I can't I mean, Jared Mayo, I know they're not really doing that good right now, but people are buying in. Yeah, Antonio Pierce, look at this. It's like, you know, a couple things work okay, but now you get a couple injuries, and he talks about people making business decisions. That means they're fucking around out there, not bought in. And Wes, I'm mad as a motherfucker. Man, come on, bro. It's the Saints, man. It's the Saints. Don't worry about it. It's a badass face, my brother. Cheers. Okay, removed. So, right. See, yeah, Flowers and Pittman for Chase Brown is crazy. Yes. We had to remove that. I can't let you go out like that. Okay. Now, here's a question for you, Rush Lord. Did you just pick Chase Brown like randomly because he had a good game last week, or was there a reason why you went after Chase Brown? Does that manager that you were trading for or going to be trading with, do they really need wide receivers? And that's why you were trading them that? And if so, what are the other running backs on that guy's team? Yeah, definitely could, especially after Flowers had his week. And Cause, what up? Said I got Barkley, Mason, Jacobs, Najee, Braylon at running back. I'm thin at wide receiver. Jacobs or Brian Thomas doesn't sound good because it's like you're trading just a starter for a starter. That's what's tough for me. I don't like just trading a starter for a starter. I mean, unless it does like fill a big void. And I know you say you're thin, you know, you definitely are, but trading a starter for a starter kind of just leaves you at the same place. But now your running backs are weaker than your wide receivers, you know, like you're just trading one problem for another. Like, do you have any kind of like valuable, you know, bench pieces that you might be able to trade 2 or 3 players for Brian Thomas, but you know, it's like like fringe flex players or like things like that versus like trading like one of your outright starters. I know it's easier said than done, but I want people to try to make the best, you know, trades they can. I went down the roster. This guy has 6 RBs and few wide receivers. Okay. Throw all his running backs in the chat now. We need to move our DT number 50, put him in the heavy formation run for the 4 yards every play. Man, that guy is moving. He was moving. Oh, shit. He used to be a running back. I mean, he was fast, dude. He was fast. Kraft or Kincaid. Problem is I have to either stack Allen, Kincaid, or Reed and Kraft. Why? Yeah, why? Explain. I mean, explain the stack. I'm very confused about that. I mean, I'm not mad at Reed and Kraft. I mean, that's 2 awesome spots right there. Edwin Jets clamp the tight end. Arizona susceptible. Yeah. Yep. Actually focus coverage on Kincaid, but Green Bay more vertical. Yeah, and the Cards are literally only good versus the deep balls. Nah, you're good, bro. You're good. Toker one said, yes, I agree, especially with Taysom out. Man, that guy, he was flying out there. I was mentioning that right when he got that pick. Like, that motherfucker was looking fast for as big as he was. For sure. Big Bando fucked up thing. I picked up Watson from the Chiefs before this week, just in case he popped off. Should have picked up Juju instead. Yeah, and I mean, it is what it is. There's a lot of people who did that, you know, like we can't really go back. It's because Juju sucks so much that we didn't want him. That's why he sucks. He really sucks. Rushford, Mason, Pollard, Hunt, Brown, Mostert, Gibson, Javonte. Okay. I know you said that this guy has a lot of running backs, but I want you to read out loud the running backs that you just said and tell me again that this person has a shitload of running backs. Like he has a shitload, but none of them are good. None of them are good. And yeah, see, he has CMC on the IR, which means he's never trading Mason. I honestly would pick a different target unless you go after Kareem Hunt. And even then, he's not worth a 2-for-1. You got to find someone with some better horses to choose from. Yeah, because like, do I like Brown? Like, yeah, but like, there's no chance in hell I'm doing a 2-for-1 trade for Brown, you know? So, yeah, right. See, everybody's got a fucked up bunch of running backs. Yeah, so like, we don't want to just make a trade just to make a trade. We want to make a calculated trade for sure. Because we don't want to make a trade that improves your fucking your teammate like way better than it improves yours. If it improves you guys the same and it's mutually beneficial, like that's like the best kind of trade that you can make. You guys said stay away from Juju wide receiver. It's gonna be different every week. Yeah, for sure. Because people are gonna start scheming differently. You know who's gonna be solid every week again? Travis Kelce. And he should be blocking for Kamara and Taysom. Put him in that fullback. He could do it. Then give him the little goal line runs. Man Johnson, terrible blocking tight end. Yes, he's not good. That's why Foster Moreau is like on the field so much still. Big Bando been holding on to Ingram all year too, hoping he comes back this week because I got Kelce. I mean, I think we're getting a little bit closer, right? It's a hamstring. Like that's what sucks. Is like that. What up, Baked Bros? Let's smoke it up, homie. Like the thing with hamstrings is like we see guys who get hamstring injuries and they don't miss time. And then we see guys who get hamstring injuries and they miss like 5 weeks or 6 weeks. It's like, why are they not telling us the grade of the hamstring injury anymore? They used to always fucking say that shit. And then we could kind of gauge like how long these dudes are going to be out before, you know, like at least mentally we could be kind of thinking that or knowing that, whatever. Eli said, try getting Dave Montgomery, something like that. Oh yeah, see, there we go. He's got Monty. And who's your running backs again? Rush Lord. Frank, what up, homie? Who's better pick up, Chandler, Wright, or Tracy? I'm probably gonna lean on Tracy. Chandler, they're on bye, right? I mean, with some injuries, he might be a thing. He might be worth a stash right now. We still don't know what's up with A-Chain though. And Cause says sucks being 1-4. Now's where you make the moves, man. You got to go look at your points for and your points against. Go look at there. Go see how are you ranked in the points for and points against categories. That's how you know if your team, that's how you know if you need to hold and you've just had a run of bad luck schedule wise, or if your team's kind of fugazi and you got to make a move and sell one of your best assets right now for 3 players to kind of improve your entire starting lineup. And even when I say 3 players, you don't want to get just 3 flavors of the week and that's it. Just remember that, guys. When you're doing these 3-for-1 trades, don't only get flavors of the week. Make them throw in some players that have kind of been underperforming that the manager might not be super happy with. Yeah, Big Bando. It's fucking bullshit, man. It's fucking bullshit. And Eli said, maybe pairing with Gibbs. Yeah, maybe. We gotta go see. Toker one. If I take Mayfield, he'll only have 1 QB and none are available on waivers. I mean, it's all part of the game, dude. It's you got to do what's best for your team, especially in this Debo league. This is kill or be killed in the Debo. You either snatch a chain or you get your chain snatched. Karma wise, man, good on you. In another league, I'm getting Goff stolen from me. And oh wait, I'm not, because Goff didn't play. Oh, thank God you mentioned that right now. Now I gotta go remind him Goff didn't play. Can't steal him from me. Whew. Running backs are ETN, Sermon, Monty, JT. Yeah. Well, here's one thing though. I'm not panicking with those running backs. That's one thing that I will tell you. I know that we're trying to make a 2-for-1 trade right now, but definitely don't panic with those running backs. Not to where you'll go trade 2 starters for one guy who may or may not even start for you, You got to make sure that it is a surefire starter that's coming back. And yeah, and so there's still a dude with Hill who wants Lamar Jackson for him. Dude's bugging. If it's a single QB league, though, that's if it's super flex, that's insane. But single QB leagues, all the QBs don't have value. I mean, you just draft them so late. I know the guys like Lamar and some of the other rushing quarterbacks have a little bit of an upside, but yeah. Big Bro said, fuck the Debo league this year. Injuries killed me, bro. Same, man. Same. One of the leagues I'm 3-2. I caught a win by 0.05 points. Fucking 0.05 points. And then the other one fucking caught an ass whooping. Big Bando, would you move Debo for Chubb? No. Eli 2 will be back week 7-8. So the whole Dolphins offense value is going to skyrocket if you can make a trade. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You should be trying to make moves for guys like Tyreek. Definitely. And Togron, but I'm needing at running back. I have Madison, Chandler, Goomba, Wale, McNichols. I could really use a Bigsby. I have Carr, Nix, Caleb at QB. So what are you saying? That you're going to go put in a claim for Bigsby. Said shit, a win-win. Let's get it. All right, let me get Sleeper pulled up here. We're gonna get into the IDPs very shortly. Resort, I'm looking at every team. This one has Rashad White, Justice Hill, Spears, G White, and maybe my backs are decent compared to that. They for sure are. They for sure are. Who's like you almost need to look for someone who's just like really hurting, like for wide receivers. Like you want to search for the team that has good running backs, but I wouldn't be looking for a team that necessarily has a bunch of running backs. I'd be looking for the team that really, really has bad wide receivers. And as long as they got a couple running backs, because you might be able to do Trey Sermon plus JSN for some insane running back, or something like that. Because Sermon still a flavor of the week, no matter how he slices. He did good. I mean, they had a really good matchup, though, this past week versus the Jags. This week, they play the Titans. It is like the exact opposite of a matchup as far as how good the defense is at defending the run. So I'd be okay moving Trey Sermon plus JSN, but bring back a boss-ass tight end, Joker, one thing and heavy on it, but you're right about the cutthroat, my team and taking his Mayfield. I mean, yeah, it's I say it coming in. This type of league is not for the faint at heart, because there's going to be some fucked up things that happen if you lose. And the more you lose, the more fucked up shit that happens. Like you could just be you could be chainless at the end, at the end of everything. What up, Corey? You know what? That's a good question. Let me go see how a lot of my teams did. I guess the one thing that's kind of tough is oh no, actually it does show. Well, let's see. Well, I see 3 wins right off the bat, and I see a 181 in waivers. That's good. Battle of the Brands. I caught a dub. Let's go. Finally. Won both the auction leagues. Dude, scored an insane amount of points in the 3 QB league because I had Dak, Kareem Hunt, DJ, I want to score more, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins, Brian Thomas Jr., Lamar Jackson. Dude, my team went fucking off this week. Damn, and Ghost Monkey scored higher than me. Dude. Crazy. Let's see. Dynasty. Win, loss, win, loss, win, win, loss, loss, win, loss, win, loss, loss, win, 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 loss, win, 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 win. Yes, yes, yes. I like that. Woo! One of my teams scored 480. 480. Dude. Let me go see. 480. Damn. Yeah. Highest score by like 70. I'll play JPZ. Sorry, JPZ. Sorry, I had to whoop that ass. Joe Burrow. Nice. Josh Jacobs. Javonte Williams. Chris Godwin. Jamar Chase. I got the Burrow Chase stack over here. Let's go. Zay Flowers. Kareem Hunt. George Kittle. Jordan Addison. Aaron Rodgers. Hines Allen. Joker. Walker. Bates. McKinney. Man, team killed it. Team killed it. Yeah. So Corey, all in all, I think I'd kick it some ass this week. Take some names and kick it some ass. And Kittle been going off for me. I haven't felt that a tight end can hurt everyone. Yeah. Hit that like button, everybody. And we have Josh Allen, so it would be Allen and Kincaid. I'm not benching Jaden Reed, so Kraft and Reed, so I'd start him. I guess I'm still confused about that. Like, explain why. Explain why. Like, where are you putting him? I'm not visualizing it in my head, and I like to like visualize everything, or I almost don't understand it. And down max, I got both Dorian Williams and Terrell Bernard. Do you think I should try to trade one of them? Who are your other linebackers? Because Dorian Williams is fucking killing it right now, and he's been killing it whether Bernard was on the field or off the field. So I don't think I want to just like move him for nothing. And so I know the Packers can move it on Arizona, but I don't know if Arizona can keep up. Let's see. Said, yeah, he took Rodgers from me 2 weeks ago, and then I lost Kamara last week. So those are the spots I'm hurting and stressed. And see, and that's like, it's tough. And I had to take Rodgers from you. Like then, like if I wouldn't have taken Rodgers from you, my team, like I don't even think I would have been able to field 2 QBs because I had Goff, I think, on bye. Said, yes, sir. When you win, we win. It's here for the people. Thank you. Appreciate you, homie. Big Bando, a little thin at wide receiver. Would you move Dowdle for Jameson? If you could do it straight up, sure. Edwin, Josh Allen auto starts. Jaden Reed auto starts. So whatever tight end is having 2 guys in one game. Huh? Don't even think like that, dude. Like, don't think that you have to force a stack. Because, yeah, Josh Allen's an auto start, but like, so I don't get it. So, but I'm still confused. Like, why? So why can't Kincaid just play the tight end? Or is it like, yeah, I'm so confused about that. And of course, I watched your waiver wire video last night. And are they in order? For example, do you like Daniel Jones the most for the QB waivers? So you have to listen to what I say in the beginning, because there's some like the quarterbacks where I just left the sneaky guy like at the end because he's available in a lot. So no, I said my favorite pickup was Derek Carr, but then his ass got injured last night. So I guess that is one of the downfalls, of doing the waiver wire video before Monday Night Football. But now I'd probably be like Andy Dalton versus the Falcons, like at home. Like I'd probably want him over Danny Pesos. And Hunter, start Wandale, Dowdle, Deontay, and the flex. All right, just a reminder, guys. You can ask questions on Tuesday, and I will give you answers. But it's a Tuesday, and I'm not even in start and sit mode yet. I literally, I'm so week to week, I don't even know any matchups this week, unless it's like the Thursday game, So Cowboys against the Lions, hate that. Giants against the Bengals, that's good. Panthers against the Falcons. He's going to be going up against AJ Terrell. As of now, I'm going to say Wandale. That answer could change, though. What up, Corbin? Dalmax said Pratt and Warner, my other 2. Well, how many do you start? And can you get something good? Because a lot of times IDPs, even in the savviest of savvy leagues, a lot of times the IDPs are just throw-ins. A lot of times they're just throw-ins. Restaurant I can offer to get Ramondre. Maybe no. Flowers and Pittman are more valuable than you're thinking they are. Like maybe they're not valuable to your team because they don't start. But like that's the thing. Like to most people, like go look at some of these people's like wide receiver like cores. Now you're good, Hunter. I'm just saying, I know that you'll be back. I just have to give the disclaimer that like, Tuesdays is so early. I'll answer you, but I don't want people to not come back. And that's really what it is. Like I got to give the disclaimer. It's Tuesday. Never take a Tuesday answer as a final answer. That's the disclaimer, And Toyota 1-1, the WWF 2-3, 32 man 8-2. Let me see. Where am I at in the 32? I caught the dub. 8-2, right there with you, homie. Ooh, and I just finished above the median, 4 points above the median. Nice. Let's see. Marty number 1 in Universe 1 with 8-2. Ghost Monkey and Clark are fucking in first in Universe 2 with both 9-1. Tim My World is 9-1. I'm in second place in Universe 2 at 8-2. Kid is 9-1, and there goes Toyota 1, 8-2, second in his division. I'm definitely getting blessed with a good schedule as of right now, and gotta start stepping it up. We need some guys to come back healthy. They said back the truck up on him in the waivers. My team killed it in waivers. I only have one team though. Kyler, Najee, James Conner, Jamar Chase, Diggs, Strange, Lockett, Hunt, DJ. I want to score more. And it's crazy. I had Flacco on the bench. I picked him up right before the week started. And Gino. No, Gino scored less than Kyler. So I was actually right. But like literally they scored the exact same. Had Rico on the bench, Trey Sermon on the bench. Hey, let's go. I got some running backs to trade. Anybody want to trade? I'll trade you 2 running backs for a better top end running back. Anybody? And I was afraid with Kraft and Reed, there's only one ball. I'm afraid that Kincaid will get shut down, period. Okay. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Because Josh Allen's starting either way. I guess you confused me when you're like, if I start Kincaid, it's the stack here. Or if I start Kraft, it's the stack there. Okay. Now I get it. Okay. Now I get it. It was just confusing the way that you said. And next time, literally, fuck everybody else on your team. You know, like the tight end for the tight end. Like that's just what you tell me because everything else confused the fuck out of me. I was just so confused. And I always want to be right. So like I feel like I have to understand the context. But I'm leaning Kraft as of now. And Eli said he's saying he's going to end up starting 2 players on the same team. Yeah. Now I understand. Like when you got a guy like Josh Allen, like you don't really think like, oh, is it a bad thing to stack these guys? I don't want to force the stack, but now I understand. It's like no matter who you were starting, it's either going to be you got 2 Buffalo players or 2 Green Bay players. Like I got it now. And Green Bay is going up against the Cardinals, so I'm about it. Corey said, currently I have Flacco as my QB versus Tennessee. Should I drop for Dalton? Dang, you don't have anybody else? Is it the one with like only 3 bench spots? Because like I want to hear more Richardson news, but it's like, yeah, Flacco's your only QB. It's like you got to fucking make a move like right now as well. Okay. And actually, all right, guys, I will be right back. I got to go drain the main vein. Don't anybody go anywhere. I'll be back in 5 minutes. We'll answer all the chats and then we'll jump into some IDP waivers very shortly. I will be right back. All right. How long was I know it's 5 minutes. How long was shit there for? All right. Let's see. Where did I leave off at? Hey, Rush Lord with the super chat. Let's get it. Rush. Get it. Smoking the bowl for our homie Rush Lord. And actually, let me update the bottom here. Do that now. Because I always got to show love to the peeps who show love to the show. All right. Do. All right. And then Dow Mack, your linebacker question is coming next. Update the bottom here. All right, there we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's get it. All right, let's smoke this bowl. And we're coming back with Dow Mack. And who? William just hopped in here. What up, homie? Jacob just hopped in here. What up? What up? All right, Corey said only like 6 minutes. Okay. So about a minute worth of silence. Okay. All right, there we go. William said right on time. Let's get it. Let's smoke it up. And I saw your questions, William. There's a couple questions before you, and I got you, bro. To everybody hang out. Let's smoke it up. Got some good.
Hold up, fatty. For this pimp daddy. All right.
Gotta get these dub. It all starts on Tuesday. There's so many people who are slacking on a Tuesday right now. We're making sure we're getting all our ducks in the rope. I start 2 linebackers. I have a flex, which always I put a linebacker there. Okay. So I've been in the buys week. Kind of killing me this week. I feel it. But the Bills aren't on bye this week, are they? Oh, because it's 1 extra linebacker. That's what you're saying, huh? Then that's the bench spot might be killing you. I don't know if I'd trade one of them though. You know, if the IDP are kind of like even valuable, like at all, like I don't think I'd trade a guy like Williams. And I love Bernard, man. I mean, as you guys know. So like, and Dorian Williams, like, man, he's someone that I've been telling you about since he was a rook. Rush. Okay, so here are my wide receivers: Flower, Pittman, Reed, Evans, Olave, JMO, JSN. See, if I was gonna give Ramondre, it'd be like a 1-for-1. So like, I feel like you gotta shoot higher. Like just everybody that you're thinking right now is hella mid. Okay, like they're right here, but we're trying to do a 2-for-1 trade. So you got to shoot your sights like a lot higher. Like I'm not saying you have to go after the best on someone's team, but it's like we have to be a little bit better about like going for these top end like type of guys. And I know some people might not trade those type of guys. That's why you got to find the guys that are really hurting at certain positions. And you got the wide receivers, so it's like, man, I mean, you could trade almost any 2 of these wide receivers, you know. Olave might be one of the ones that I throw in because he's been so suspect here and there. And Corey said, who do you like the most between Tolbert, Pierce, Lazard to pick up? Probably Lazard. I know Aaron Rodgers, I said, has a low ankle sprain, but we think he's going to be okay, right? All right, we're going to talk about the injuries also real quick. I just want to get this pulled up. So this is just ready to go. There we go. And the real truth. Got to grab defensive waiver. Who do I drop? Waddle, Allen, Wicks. Wicks. Or Slayton as well. Probably still Lazard. Yeah, probably still Lazard. Good Harold and Kumar reference. Which one was it? I love fucking Harold and Kumar. I'm leaning Wicks and starting Fields. Yeah. William, Laporta, or Kraft. Ooh. I'm gonna go Laporta off the bye. Toughish matchup, though. Me too. Don't want to lose to KC. William, if Nico can't go, do I go Dowdle, Chase Brown, or JSN? Not Dowdle because he's got the Lions. That's tough. Where the hell does Seahawks play? 49ers. I might leave JSN off of there this week. I mean, Houston's got the Patriots, and like with the Patriots, I bet they could scheme Dell out pretty easily. I'm going to say Chase Brown. I'm going to say Chase Brown by process of elimination. Let me know that you heard that, William. Let me know you heard it. And Eli's NFL, I'm going to have to make a move here soon too. Defense, what's pick goes on by. I'm not dropping them. Yeah. Jacob, should I trade ETN and DK for Justin Jefferson? I mean, probably, right? And Rushard, I can go after James Cook. He's very weak at wide receiver. He has Saquon. Okay. Now, this might be a little crazy. Go for Saquon, bro. Start at Saquon. Because what if you said he's very weak at wide receivers? Dude, Jacob, did you just call me a stupid idiot right now? What the fuck? What a fucking weirdo. Oh, is he on the... He's on the Alex Marino page. That's why. Yeah, bro. That's not the way to get anything that you want to happen around here, dude. And I did answer your question, and then you act like a bitch. Damn, dude, that's horrible. That's horrible. And Crimney, what up on Twitch? Can answer your question right now. Let's see. Yeah, is this guy over here? Yeah, curious if Jacob's even in here still. What an ass. What an ass clown. Yeah, look at this. When did he ask a question? Look, asked a question 5 minutes ago when I said I'll be right back. Then answered his question and calls me a stupid idiot. Man, what a joke. What a joke. And Toker1J, is there some way to check how many entries we have? Not other than asking me no. Like that part I'm trying to figure out. I have everything like on a Google sheet, like right now. I mean, that's pretty much the only way that I'm at least as of right now, the only way that's kind of feasible. I still have to go through like a bunch of the super chats and everything and add those. And I know we're going to be getting the raffle going this month. I'm waiting for Hess and Bees Barbarians to send me some stuff so I can get it involved in the mix as well. And Crimney on Twitch, new follower. What up? What up? Guy wants CMC and Pollard from me. He's got Mason, CD, Ayuk, Bowers. What should I ask for? Mason and CD Lamb. Start there. Mason and CD Lamb. Is it Dynasty? Is this is it redraft? What is it? And Marco said shit must have faith. Must have hit the fan in New York. Salah got escorted out of the building by security. I mean, he's a big guy. You know, whenever you get fired, you know, they you're gonna get escorted out. You get escorted out. And of course, they dropped Conklin for Morali Small or Theo. I'm keeping Conklin. I'm keeping him. It's a decent matchup this week. Bigsby or Roshan to pick up. Both, but Bigsby first. And Toad one drop Rice and redraft at this point. Yeah, they said his timetable for coming back at minimum is going to be 3 months. That's if he has no ACL damage. If he does have ACL damage, he's out for a lot longer than that. But either way, he's pretty much done for He's done for redraft. Like, even if he comes back, what's he going to come back? Like week 17? Doubt it. Jeff said, what up, Hustler? Pittman, Shakira, Wandale. I got Josh Allen. I mean, Shakira if he plays, but actually, yeah, just because he runs out of the slot a lot. Yeah, I'd probably play Shakira if he plays, then Wandale, and then Pittman would be my last. At least as of right now. If it's Flacco, maybe I like him a little bit more, but he's going up against L'Jarius Sneed, so it ain't gonna be good. And Jeff said Freiermuth or Schultz. Freiermuth versus the Raiders. And Rush Short said Saquon, I love it. What wide receivers? Well, how bad is he hurting for wide receivers? Because you might have to give up a 3-for-1 on this, but you're going to be able to go get Tank Bigsby like as well. That's like the point of this, right? I would put Olave, JSN. I would start with Olave and JSN for Saquon. And then if that doesn't work, I would who are your running backs again? See, because what I might do is I might do 2 wide receivers and a running back. If the 2 wide, because it depends on how bad that hurts his team. I mean, you said, who would you say that he had? He had it was Saquon and who? Saquon and Cook. Yeah, so you might have to throw down like a Trey Sermon like as well. Like Olave and Trey Sermon for Saquon. Maybe that's the start. And if they say no to that, Olave, JSN, and Trey Sermon. Like, I'd be trying that. I'd try that. And then if there's no budging there, then you go to Cook. Frizzio, what up, what up? Zeb, what up, homie? Went to that Godsmack last night. Nice. Big Bando, a little thin wide receiver. Would you trade Dowdle for Wandale? Not after the way that Dowdle played this past week. Frizzio saw Saquon on waivers last night, but then I woke up. I'd go after Saquon first. Rush Lord, I'd make that your first target. Make that your first target. What up, Will? Say good morning, Alex. Smash that like button, guys. Appreciate the reminder for everybody. Hit that like button. And he said, of all the players on Seattle or San Fran, other than Bosa, who do you like the best for Thursday night? Everyone's available. What's the context? What are we DFS? Like, what are we talking about? Give me some context. Nerd alert. What up, bro? Corey prioritized Tank Bigsby or Lazard. Bigsby. Should I drop Akers for either of those or hold until there's Mixon news? I mean, I'd drop Akers for Bigsby. Like, that's a way that I'd justify it for sure. Because I really do think Mixon's coming back this week. Jeff, who should I give my number 1 waiver request, Bigsby or Mooney? Man, it's tough because they're both fucking worth it. They're both fucking worth it. I would prioritize them based on your team needs because they're both really that good right now. Like, if you're hurting at running back, you got a bye week coming up and you like legit need to start Bigsby, I'd make him number 1. Same thing if it was Mooney, like if you really need a wide receiver to start this week. I feel like there's more upside with Mooney. So if like you were good on running backs, I think I would go Mooney. He's been pretty consistent. And the thing that's kind of been the best for him is like, I think, just like I thought he sucked and said that he sucked going into like this year. I think that a lot of teams are still treating him as such. And so he's just like wide open on so many plays because like teams are accounting for Bijan. They're accounting for London. They're accounting for Pitts. And they're not fucking thinking about Mooney like at all. They're like, if anyone's going to beat us, it'll be this 4th motherfucker over here that we don't give a shit about. And he's been doing it. Kirk Cousins been hitting them. He's been getting volume. He's at, some big drops here and there. But the amount of volume that he's getting right now will allow, we'll take it easy on those. We'll take it easy on that. Big Bando said, what about Dowdle for Wandale and Brooks from Carolina? I guess I'm just not really like a super fan of Brooks. And like, if Dowdle's really going to end up being the guy because like Zeke sucks, Dalvin Cook sucks, you know, and there's just like nobody over there, I feel like Dowdle's just going to be more valuable than that. Rizzo sent offered today, Mixon Olave for Chase. I have Bijan and Bigsby. Okay. See how it works out. What up, Meech? What the fuck do I do with Dalton Schultz, man? Pray. I'm not too much of a godly man when it comes to like praying for fantasy football, but I legit feel that's kind of the only way that Dalton Schultz can be saved right now. Prayer. Or people dying, and that kind of sucks. It's like the opposite of what we want. Will said just in redraft, but to consider it like GFS play. Well, that's what, so like what, like Mason, like DK, Ayuk, like guys like that. Corey Roshan or Lazard, who do you like more? Lazard, unless you're hurting at RB, and then I would go Roshan. But yeah, Lazard more. And Jesse, what up? Who do I drop? Wicks for Wandale or hold? If you're dropping Wicks for Wandale, I would do that. Yes. Sean said I bet 52 out of 72 for Bigsby. Let's see. So what percentage is that? 72. Okay, there we go. 72%. There we go. And I said you got to be looking to spend between 60 and 75%. So you went on the higher end out of that. And I like how you even went one higher than the 51, just in case someone else goes for 51 as well. Godspeed. Holding on to Chamari Connor, had a couple weeks, and now Crickets. Yeah, it's especially like yesterday. I don't know why, like versus the Saints, you feel like they run a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. Like that's when Connor is more valuable, when it's teams that are running like 3 wide receiver sets against him. If it's redraft, he's droppable now that the bye week is like coming up. So we'll be able to look elsewhere for some DBs. But yeah, that was a disappointment. Big Bando, what about Dowdle for Addison? I mean, I like it. I like it. As running backs start dying, though, like every starting running back is just like a little bit more valuable. Infinite, what up, homie? Said, just thought about this. Did Coach Rodgers get what he wanted? Get Coach Saleh out of there? I doubt it. I doubt. I mean, Rodgers definitely has some frustration. I don't know if the frustration was with him and Saleh, though. I just think that this team, like the place that they're doing really bad right now is on offense. And like, it sucks that like the offensive scheme is like probably what got Saleh fired. But it's weird though, right? Because wasn't Hackett like he already like him and like Rodgers, like they already played in this like fucked up like system, right? And they worked out the kinks and stuff. So I don't know. I don't think it was Rodgers. Like I know everyone calls Rodgers a diva, but I doubt it was him. Like they've probably been very frustrated with Saleh for the last couple years because a lot of things that he's been trying haven't really been working. And like now not being able to get the run game going, like that's probably like the worst thing. That the owner of the Jets has Brees on his fantasy team, and he's like hella pissed right now. Oh, defensive lineman. Oh, okay. Yeah, you did say Nick Bosa, huh? I'm gonna say Derek Hall, or I'm gonna say Derek Hall, Leonard Williams potentially. And I don't know. That's probably all that I can think of right now. And of course, I'm going to drop player A Wicks for Tank, and my player B would be Akers. So the question is, should I drop Lazard for him? Yeah, I would. Yep. Drop Akers for Bigsby, and then drop Wicks for Lazard. There we go. Because then if you don't get Bigsby, you still have Akers. But yeah, so I would do it like that. The wide receiver for the wide receiver, and the What's it called? And the running back for the running back. Yes, sir. Maybe Mafi. Maybe. Yeah, Jesse. Yeah, Solid got fired this morning. They gave him his ass the old heave-ho. Oh, they didn't really give too much context behind it, but yeah, he got fired, man. Charlie, so what are your thoughts on Juju last night and rest of season? I'll tell you my Juju thoughts.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
Sucks, man. He sucks. Crimney thinking CMC, Pollard, and Sutton for Mason and CD. I mean, try it. Try it. It depends on how much that person likes CD, right? I mean, how much they like CMC. Because that would be a start. And then if you can't get CD, which I mean, you might not be able to be, let's just be realistic about it. Then you go for like whoever the second best wide receiver is, like on that team. And I'm good getting rid of CMC because I don't think he comes back and plays this year. Seawolves 2 QB league play Darnold or Richardson. I'm not playing Richardson, or drop one to pick up Jones or Cousins this week. Man, drop Richardson and pick up Cousins. Do it. I know it's tough. Do it though. Corey said, or should Akers be player A? Well, good question, because I didn't really catch that the way that you were saying that. But yes, good question. So it depends on who you need more. Do you need the wide receiver more than the running back? I want Bigsby more than Lazard. So if you don't need one position more than the other, I want to put the claim in on Bigsby first. So I would use Akers as the 1A. Would I? No, I want Wicks off. So no, Wicks would be the 1A. So no. Okay. Regroup. Wicks is player A. Akers is player B. You want to put in a claim. Wicks for Tank. Okay. That's move 1. Move 2. Wicks for Lazard. Then move 3 would be Akers for Lazard. That would be the way that I would do it. I would put in 3 waiver claims. Because I would rather get rid of Wicks than Akers. I mean, you might get rid of Akers in a couple days. If Joe Mixon comes back, you know, we're getting rid of him anyways. And when Joe Mixon comes back, I like Agumba Wale more than Akers. So that's like another good thing, guys. Like Agumba Wale was on my waiver wires this week. If Joe Mixon comes back, I have a feeling that it's going to be Goomba that ends up being the 1B, and Akers is kind of more of an afterthought, just like more of a depth piece for them. Not saying he won't get touches, but I bet he's third in the pecking order. That's what I mean. Hell yeah, Jesse, super crazy. Kind of woke up to that news today. A little insane. Seawolves, Reed and Adams on waiver. Drop someone to pick up. I have more Godwin, Lamb, Collins for Max. No. Yeah, you're probably... Man, I hate the leagues, no offense to your league. I hate the leagues where it's like you can only play you can only have a max at a certain position. Because, like, what's going to happen when you have bye weeks? Like, I mean, I guess that's like, oh, you should have planned for that, but I don't know. It kind of sucks, dude. So, but no, I wouldn't. You're probably not dropping any of these wide receivers for like anybody, like moving forward. Jeff said, should I drop Pittman for Downs? No, my other receivers are St. Brown, Wandale, Robinson, Shakir. No. As long as it's Flacco, it is going to be a little bit better. This week is going to suck versus L'Jarius Sneed, though. Already prepping people for that. But no. I mean, do you have anybody else to pick up, like, that you could drop to pick up for Downs? Yes, sir. Got you, Corey. Yeah, I would always do it that way. Player A is the player that you want to get rid of most. And, like, if it's a guy like Tank Bigsby, like Tank Bigsby is going to be the number 1 target of everybody. So if you don't have the number 1 waiver, like, you probably aren't even getting him this week, just because he did so good. So that's why I like to use, I would do multiple, because let's say that Bigsby's picked, right? Like, or no, let's say that Bigsby's picked. Or wait, no. Because Lazard's the one with the double claim. So let's say you get Bigsby. Okay. That's what I mean. You get Bigsby. So now Wicks is already off of your team. It automatically gets rid of that waiver claim. And then the next one that you have, the Acres for Lazard, that one will kick in as like your next waiver claim. Yeah, that was the right way to explain it. And what up, Heisenberg? What up, homie? He says Butker worth holding on the bench during Casey's bye week. I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't play in a lot of leagues with kickers, but I will say that if Butker is averaging a decent amount of points per game, which I probably don't think that's the case, I would just drop him. Like, fuck it, man. Unless you have the extra spot to where you could just go pick up a kicker, but I don't know. I think most of these kickers are really interchangeable, except for like Aubrey, and I don't even know who the other top kicker is right now. Corey said drop Strange for Conklin. I probably would. Because I doubt anybody picks up Strange. I mean, especially with like the possibility of Ingram coming back. And Jeff said I got Leggett. Should I also drop him for downs? I'd drop Leggett for downs. Yeah, I mean, he got hurt in this past week. I mean, it sucks to like drop him. You're talking redraft, right? Yeah, I would drop him in the New York minute for downs. Downs is only playable if it's Flacco. That's like another thing, though. Sean said, how does it prioritize waiver claims by the dollar bid? Yes, exactly. So if you put in multiple bids on, not on the same player, but if you just have like 5 waiver claims or whatever your highest waiver claim, like money wise, bid wise, that's going to be your highest priority. But like, that's what's, it's like, but there is no priority though. But it's like, if you don't have enough money, like that's what it comes down to. Like if you get Bigsby, like, I would be putting in multiple claims on people. Like, let's just use Bigsby and Lazard for an example. So you said you put up 52 out of 70. That means you have $20 left. So I would be putting, like, let's say you really needed Lazard. Okay. I'd put in 2 claims on him. I'd put in a claim where like, maybe it's like $21 or no, like maybe like 25 or 26, like something like that, to where it's a little bit higher. And then if you get Bigsby, that shit doesn't matter. Like that whole claim is going to go away anyways, or you don't have enough money, but then you put like another claim like on him as well, where it's like Lazard for like 15 or 14 or 11 or something like that, to where you still have a couple bucks left. Only guys left to claim are Slayton and the Ravens wide receiver. Which Ravens wide receiver though? Bateman? Will said no kicker is worth keeping on, but I definitely shouldn't be Butker. Yeah, I don't think so either. Restaurant, the guy has Bijan and Mason. I give him CMC and 1 or 2 of my wide receivers for Bijan. No, I want Mason out of those 2. Like, I'm sure that things are going to change around with like Bijan, but man, like I don't want to pay up for him right now. I wouldn't even want to pay up for Mason, like that either. What size league is it, Rush Lord? Is it a 10-man league? Because I guess in a 10-man league, I mean, I guess you do have to overpay for like everything. Corey dropped T-Law against Chicago or Falcons, Cousins, or Pesos. For what? Like what? Give me the context. Okay, 10-man league. Okay, so that's fair. So you are going to have to give up. Like, you probably are going to have to overpay to a certain extent. Man, you got to find someone that likes CMC. If you really want to trade CMC, you got to find someone that likes him. Jeff says, as far as handcuffs, should I keep Charbonnet or Algier? Charbonnet. He's looked a lot better. Well said, I got a guy in my one league. 1 year get mad because he didn't get a player because he put 100 bids of dollar increments thinking that he would get the player because he bid the most. Yeah. But the thing is, he didn't realize that how it works. He should have put his highest bid first. Exactly. Yes. He said the computer accepted the $1 as his only bid. Yeah, you gotta put the higher ones first. Yeah. That's one of the things with Fab, though. It's kind of tough, with just like the rolling waivers or whatever, a lot more options, but You know, you get it not by luck, but it's like, you know, the guys who hold on to their waivers, like, you know, for these big picks, like sometimes works out, sometimes it doesn't. Seawolves drop Gino for Cousins or hold. I have Allen. Would I rather have Cousins over Gino? I think I rather would have Cousins over Gino. Yeah. So I would do that. Still tough. Still tough. Do you have another QB that you might be able? I mean, do you have another position that you might be able to drop? And the reason why I ask is because once you throw Gino out there, he's probably going to be the number one QB on waivers, which doesn't matter to you. You got the better player, but it's like you also don't want to throw out like good players that someone's just going to pick up, like especially at QB. Seawolf, San Fran or Houston this week? Houston. Jeff, you think it was a good move picking up Hawkinson, seeing how bad the tight end is right now? Yeah, definitely. Whoever has whoever is in tight end disarray, how about that? Go get TJ Hawkinson because he's been out there for a long time. Like, because it's crazy that if he's still available, like I'm surprised people didn't pick him up last week when he actually came. I know it's a 21-day window or whatever, but yeah, I'm surprised more people haven't been picking him up. Restaurant thinking of getting rid of CMC to the Mason owner and work out the deal. Get a decent RB back. I'm thinking he would be happy if he expects CMC back at some point. Yeah, and seeing like, I mean, if you could get Bijan for CMC +1, I potentially would do that. John, I got Gino and Richardson the first waiver pick. I dropped Richardson for Cousins. Yep. Someone just asked that. I would. And sorry to you guys who really want to hold on to Richardson and all that. But I think you should cut bait on him now for a guy like Cousins because we see what Cousins is already doing now. Corey, who do I start this week? Goff. Well, it's not T-Law. Like, everybody just listen. Do not start T-Law. I don't give a fuck how good of a game he had last week. It's because they were playing the Colts. They got the Bears. Bears are shutting down like every quarterback that plays against them. So we got Goff, Cousins, Pesos, Flacco, Baker. I'm leaning Goff as of right now. Pick up Tolbert or Slayton. Tolbert with when Neighbors comes back, he is Slayton's more of an afterthought. All right. Almost ready here. Okay. Had to get someone renewed on the streaming before I forgot. And then still never talked about the injuries. So we will do that like right about meow. What up, Bakes? It's going down, homie. Don't forget to bring a towel. Oh, yeah. Anybody see the two new emojis that just got thrown in there? You got the 69 and the 55.
69, dudes.
Oh, totally need to get a dump truck. That's going to be one of them. Yeah, we definitely need a dump truck in there. Will said so in Dynasty. What do you think an owner could realistically get for CMC draft picks at this point? Or does he just die on your team? I mean, he might just die on your team because nobody, I mean, there's already a lot of people who are already kind of off CMC for how old he was. Got to find the right person, man. That's what it comes down to. You got to find the right trade partner. Tomas, what up, homie? Que pasa? He said, you don't like Philly D, you prefer Houston. Well, I didn't say I don't like Philly D. They're my second favorite team to pick up on waivers, but I prefer Houston to Philly. Yes. All right. Now, the injuries. Let me see here. Okay, let me put this up. Let's just go through a bunch of the injuries here. This won't really be. It's going to go in order of the teams. But yeah, one of the worst parts, man, when we got to talk about the injuries.
They kill Killer, B.
So let's see. Josh Allen. We gotta hear more about him, but they're saying that it was a concussion. They're saying it was a concussion. Or wait, let me see. Post game, he got shaken up on the hit, and Sunday's game versus the Texans resulted in him rolling his ankle. Oh, so I thought that someone said that it was a concussion, or that it got said that he had a concussion. So as of now, they're sticking with it. It's a rolled ankle. Jadeveon Clowney got hurt. JC Horn, he got ejected from the game. So if anybody was actually playing him, Dax Hill, man, this shit sucks, dude. I know that Dax Hill hasn't even been super fantasy relevant or anything, but feels like one of our kids, out there, the guys who nobody like really knows about, and we just put on the map, and then they end up being solid. And you feel bad when they get out there and get hurt and they do things like tear their ACL and they're done for the year. So we're gonna smoke one for Dax Hill and pay our respects. I gotta fix some of these drops because I don't think that came through too clear, did it? Rodney McLeod for Cleveland went out. Denzel Ward, hamstring. Yeah, if they lose Denzel Ward, you're going to be able to throw on Cleveland a lot easier. Marshawn Nealon for the Cowboys. Ouch, man. He got carted off. And then Jalen Guyton did not return either. Cowboys dropping like flies out there. Nobody of note on Denver. Green Bay, nobody of note. Nico, hamstring. Jimmy Ward, groin, both out. Christian Wilkins ruled out, foot injury. Devon A-Chain, concusto. Javon Holland suffered a broken hand. He's going to be out for a few weeks, I'm sure. Aaron Jones, hip injury, ruled out.
They kill Killer, B.
Pete Warner, I guess he didn't even play. Kendre Miller. No, this was yesterday. That's why. Michael Carter, the defensive back for the Jets. Michael Carter, not the running back. Hamstring injury. Sauce, he was evaluated for a concussion. He came back. Aaron Rodgers said he's dealing with a low ankle sprain. Hufanga, man, hit wrist. Got ruled out. Jake Moody for all you kicker people. Ankle. Jair Brown, ankle. For Seattle, Nuosu, thigh injury, got ruled out. Tariq Woolen, ankle, got ruled out. Did not come back. And Jartavius Martin for the Commandos. Shoulder and concussion. He did not return. Let's see. Pick up Lazard, lad. Lazard. Corey. Seawolves 1 QB. Got Allen. Would you drop Darnold for Cousins? Ooh. Who I would honestly drop a skill player for one of them, assuming that you can afford it. Like, you know, like you have enough depth to where you can get rid of them. That's what I mean by if you can afford it. So I would, yeah. Who else do you got on your bench? Give me who else you got on your bench? Hawk or Goddard as a backup. Ooh. Couple schools of thought here, because Goddard's really only good because AJ Brown and Devonta Smith are back. I mean, are out. I'd rather have Hawk once AJ Brown and them come back. Should I pick up between Brooks and Kendre Miller? Jesse, I think I'm going Brooks. Russell, Aaron Jones has a bye this week to rest and rehab it. Yeah, for sure. And we're hoping that he comes back and doesn't miss any time, but I really feel like he's going to miss more than a week because of this. Like if we're considering the bye week, you know, like a week. Hawk or Ferg as a backup. Ferguson, man. Ferguson. KJ, what up, homie? He said better rest of the season, Tolbert or Juju. Probably Tolbert. Yeah, it's kind of tough, man. Juju just sucks. KJ, better week 6 tight end play likely or Dalton Schultz? I mean, the Dalton Schultz would depend on if Nico plays or not. Nico doesn't play, I'm a little bit more inclined to play Schultz. And Corey, who would you rather drop, Wicks or Sermon? Wicks. It's not even close. I'm not dropping Sermon like at all. It's going to be a really bad game for him. But I don't want to drop him. Like, there's no way I'm dropping a starting running back, you know. Too many people are hurting for running backs right now. You trade him. You trade Sermon versus dropping him. And I know it's easier said than done, but if the choices are keep, trade, cut, you either keep or you trade. There's no cutting involved. And Tucker 1J really hoping AJ Brown's back this week. Also Parsons. Fingers crossed for AJ, bro. I don't have too much Parsons, so I could care less. And Lipsy said thinking of dropping forward for Mooney or Tank, but is it worth it? Because Chubb is going to be coming back. Like it's either this week or next week that he's coming back, and then that's like the 3 weeks. I guess outside shot could be the week after that, but it's either going to be this week or next week that he's coming back. So I'm okay dropping Ford. I got the Eagles this week. Not the best. Sean, does McNichols have any trade value? No, not unless you're in a bigger type of league, like, you know, maybe 16 team plus or something like that. Maybe even 14 teams, 12 team. Nah. Will said Sermon or Bigsby. In what context? Just playing this week? Bigsby. Way better matchup. Russell said, Houston coach said hamstrings take multiple weeks, so Lena Nico will be out. Yeah, I think Nico will be out. Okay. Yeah. McNichols isn't going to have too much trade value unless there's someone who's like literally dead at running backs. Like they can't even fill 2 running back spots, you know, on their team. If there's a team like that, then yeah, he's got trade value. Someone just has to be hella desperate. And Will said they said AJ Brown is back for sure. Well, when did they say that? And who said that? I hope so, but I don't like saying shit like that unless they already said that he's coming back. And Lipsy, who's the best pickup, Sermon, Tank, or Mooney? Well, I would really try to pick up all three of them, or at least put in claims for all three of them, because all these guys are going to be highly sought after this week. And assuming that you don't need a running back or a wide receiver like more than the other, I would go Mooney, Tank, and then Sermon would be the way that I would be leaning. And week 6 matchups, I am taking a tiny bit into account with that way that I'd be picking up. So if you have to play them, even more of a reason to do it in that order that I just gave. All right. Drop Wicks for Tolbert. Boom. Yes. Wilson on the weekend read an update that he was limited in practice the week before the bye. Okay. I mean, I hope he's coming back for sure, because I for sure need him. I for sure need him. And Seawolves, McLaurin, Moore, Shaheed, Metcalf going forward. You got to give me the context. Like, what do you mean? Like, give me the context behind it. Wesley, would you be trying to sell Collins? You think he comes back and plays at the same level? Well, look at AJ Brown. Okay, like it's not even about him coming back necessarily yet, but what was it, week 2, where he's dealing with this shit? And like, I know they had a bye week, but he probably wasn't. Who knows if he would have even been ready last week? We just have to assume, even if they didn't have a bye, that he wouldn't have played. So that's what sucks. Like they don't get. I don't know why I bitched about this earlier. Why the fuck are they not telling us what grade of hamstring injury it is? They used to, like, all the time. And then we could kind of gauge, like, we know, okay, this is like maybe like 2 to 3 weeks. Oh shit. Maybe this is like 4 to 6 weeks, and then, oh shit, this one could be 8 weeks plus, but like, they don't give us any fucking context like that anymore. So it depends on what you could get for Nico, but these hamstring injuries, like, they ruin people's seasons. And if they bring him back too early and he like re-injures it, fucking sucks, dude. Fucking sucks. Bake said Neighbors and Mason for Chase and redraft. I mean, if you're getting Chase, I'm not mad at it, bro. I mean, that's a big tier up. And like, look how fucking awesome Chase is. He's reminded everybody why he was being fucking, treated as like a top 3, like, wide receiver option, even when he's having drama going on, or at least close to that. I guess this year he wasn't really a top 3, but last couple years he was. And Sean, what do you think about Pacheco's trade value? Well, I think his trade value gets higher the more time that goes on, because like, the closer he gets to coming back, the more that people want him. So, do I think he has trade value? Yes. Would I trade him for nothing? No. Would I include him almost as a throw-in in a package? Potentially. It depends on how bad your team is doing. But he's not coming back for weeks. Like, we already know that. So, if you can't weather the storm of him being out, I would try to trade him. I would try to trade him, yeah. Criminy, worth keeping Eckler on your roster? Yes. Dawes, drop Ridley for Mooney. Ooh, that's a good question. I bet you Ridley goes off this week versus the Colts. And that's really what people want to see, right? Before they because Ridley's been so hit or miss, but when he goes up against some of the other premier corners just in his division, it's not going to be good. So no, I wouldn't do that. But is Ridley literally the worst guy on your team right now? Triple X flex drop, trade Tucker for Coleman, 12 teamers, a flex option. I kind of don't like either one of them, and I really don't like Coleman this week. They're going up against the Jets. If he is on Sauce, or Sauce is on him at any time, he is going to suck. So if it's a long-term play, yeah, I'm not mad at it, because I feel like he could be better in the second half of the season than Trey Tucker. Corey said best to hold on to both Conklin and Strange to wait and see if Ingram plays, or don't roster 2 tight ends. Well, I really think Ingram comes back this week. So if it's Strange, or like who would it be? Strange for who are the two guys that you said, Tank and Mooney or something? I can't remember who it was, but I'd be using them. I'm trying to trade Jordan Mason for Devontae since CMC is almost back. Your thoughts? I really don't think that CMC comes back. I really don't. Like, I know that in like November, I don't think he's coming back, dude. This Achilles tendonitis, if you like read more on it, there's like no cure for this shit. Like, the cure is rest. And like once he starts getting back into practice, he's gonna re-aggravate it. And like literally, like re-aggravating it is him like being in so much pain on his feet that he can't really walk, or like, you know, in like the let's say the foot, ankle, calf like area, you know. So I don't know. I don't want to trade Jordan Mason away. I want to trade for Jordan Mason for anybody who really thinks that CMC is coming back. Could he come back? Yeah. But they were very vague about the way that they worded everything. And the diagnosis has only gotten worse for us, like learning new things, like as more time has went on. Russell, I don't like the waiver system in my league. I have second claim and say the guy with the first waiver claim is a guy. I put in my claim, then it skips my position and then goes to the third priority instead of giving my second. What? That is fucked up. Yeah, I wouldn't like that either. That fucking sucks. That fucking sucks. Dude, all right, I got to do the IDP. I'm fucking slacking again. I love talking and smoking weed. I want to trade for a healthier player, trying to offer a Dunze for Chubb. I mean, if you can do it, do it. Sebastian, what up? Trade Josh Allen and Devontae for Jordan Love and Jamar Chase. No. I just don't like trading a 2-for-2 where you win on one player, you lose on another player. I want to make a more calculated trade. And Criminy, Criminy was just helping out. Let's see. Jonathan, what up? Thinking about dropping Christian Kirk for Juju this week since he's on bye. I mean, nobody would probably pick him up, but then, I mean, someone would probably pick him up, like at the same time. But you mean because Juju's on bye, you're going to pick him up? Or are you, Corey, how do you view Tolbert this week? Flex wide receiver 2. Yeah, kind of. I mean, well, no, I'm not even going to say wide receiver 2. He's a flex play for sure. Like, do I think, like, when I say wide receiver 1, you know, guy who we think finishes inside the top 12. Wide receiver 2, top 24, like type of guy. So when I say flex, that's like more of like a top 36, you know, type of guy. And I think that's kind of where he more finishes. Fantasy Breakout, what up? My bench consists of Hopkins, Watson, Coleman. Do I pick up Juju, Dubs, or Leggett? I would say Juju. And would you be dropping one of those guys? The 3 that you mentioned, or is there other guys that you might be able to drop? Criminy on Twitch, is it time to get rid of Sutton? I don't know if it's time to get rid of Sutton necessarily. Like, he's been really up and down, but that's kind of how the Broncos have been as well. So it's kind of like you only want to deploy him in like certain situations. And, you know, sucks that the Raiders weren't like a certain situation that we should have deployed him in. It sucks. Corey, long-term, which QB you like better out of Baker or T-Law? Baker, especially the way that he's just been looking for most of the time. Jonathan, yeah, grab him now while he's on easy pick. You don't really need Kirk. Going to be starting Wandale over Kirk anyways. Corey said, but Tolbert isn't a dart throw. I think he's higher than a dart throw. The dart throw guys, I would say, are like, you know, potentially top 50, like on the week. That's who I would say the dart throw guys are. The dart throw guys who we hope just get like 10 points. Like, I feel like Tolbert probably going to be pretty solid with above 10 points. He might only get to 10 points, but I think he's going to get enough volume to get there, especially if they play in games where the other team is like a pretty good offense. And fantasy breakout, what's your outlook on Josh Allen rest of the season? Fuck, man. I mean, it sucks. Like the outlook isn't what we thought because we thought he's gonna, just be that top 3 guy like every single week. So try to get Hurts in a 1-for-1 trade. Nah, I really don't like. I really don't like Josh Allen for Hurts, like, or anything of that nature. I really, really don't like running back for running back, wide receiver for wide receiver, quarterback for quarterback. I don't like doing trades like that. And Marco pick up Zendarius Smith, Trayvon Walker, Kwity Paye for Wise. Probably Walker. Zeus traded Swift for Keon Coleman right before Swift's out. Oh man, breakout. Drop Madison or Leggett and Ken Coleman breakout. So I don't recognize your name, Z-Woos. So I don't know if you've been like following the channel, like how long you've been following the channel for or whatever. And because of preseason, I was like so out on Coleman. He's not doing good, like out there when he's getting like cornerback press coverage. Like he just gets like taken out of the routes when that happens. So can he break out? Yeah, but it might not be till next year. Like he needs a lot of like help with the getting off the line part of things. Criminy worth a drop. Drop him for Tolmer if I can grab him. Who was it? Sutton? I got the Chargers this week. Chargers got Asante Samuel. It might be worth it to drop. Like, do I want the number 1 team on like maybe the worst offense in the league, or do I want the number 2 wide receiver and who might be the number 3 option, when it's all said and done on that team, but it's a way more high-powered offense? Kind of feel like I would drop him for Tolbert. KJ, what up? Should I pivot off of Mike Evans this week versus the Saints? I mean, that's what's tough. He always gets shut down by the Saints, right? Like him and Lattimore fucking hate each other, and Lattimore always gets the best of him. So if we're going off of like kind of like history of Mike Evans, almost like we have to sit him. And John, say your thoughts on Dubs. He worth hanging on to, potentially trading to another team. Well, I can almost guarantee you that nobody's going to be trading for him after getting suspended this week. I feel like I want to hold him at least for 1 week, though. Fantasy breakout, I would drop Hopkins, Watson, or Coleman. And which Watson is it? Is it Justin Watson? If it's Justin Watson, I'd do that in the New York Minute. Christian Watson, I almost kind of would like as well, just because like once he gets injured, like he keeps staying injured. Corey said, thanks for the insight. You already know, bro. And Rush, so I put in my number 1 waiver claim for Bigsby, but get this, Yahoo says because I dropped Bigsby last week, I'm not allowed to participate in the waivers. Oh, man. Yeah, that sucks, dude. Yes. Yeah, that sucks. Had you dropped him like to where he already cleared waivers before Sunday, you would be able to get in on the mix. That sucks, dude. Sean said, sad that Sutton's worth dropping as my 4th best wide receiver. Yeah, man, it does, man. Fantasy breakout. Ooh, IDP question. Spicy. I like it. DL question for the week. Will Anderson, Cam Hayward, or Wilkins? Well, Wilkins got hurt, so I'll just, for now, I'll say leave him out. I haven't seen you here before breakout, but just make sure you come back. Don't take a Tuesday answer as a starting answer. And you're not going to find too many channels who fuck with IDP, but I do. I like the upside of Will Anderson versus kind of the, I'd say, somewhat high floor of what Cam Hayward brings, but he doesn't really have too much of a high upside, especially going up against the Raiders. Like, I don't know. Like, he does good when there's like a lot of running that's going on. Who knows how much running the Raiders are going to do. Thanks for the IDP question, bro. We're about to get into the IDP waivers right now. I've been slacking, but I have to do it. I was like smoking weed and talking with you guys. And should I pick up Cousins? That's in case Josh Allen keeps being booty. Well, I would pick up Cousins regardless of Josh Allen, really, to block your league mates, man. It's crazy that Kirk Cousins is even able to be on, like, is like, wait, like that you can get him off of waivers right now. Those 2 back-to-back weeks, everybody got fucking rid of him. Those 2 bad back-to-back weeks, everybody cut bait on Kirk. And now he's like the hottest waiver wire ad at QB because he's only rostered in 51% of leagues. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Anthony, what up? Should I trade Garrett for Tyreek? No. And the reason why is because I don't want to trade guys like same position of similar value. I mean, it's a 50-50 shot that you're going to win or lose that trade, you know? So it's literally a coin flip on like which guy is going to do better. And like, usually the reason why someone wins that trade is because of an injury, you know? And if you trade away the injured guy, the other one's the guy who stuck with them, you know, that's just good luck, but it, you know, could be bad karma in the end. I want to make a calculated trade. Like, I don't want to trade Garrett for Tyreek. I want to get like Garrett and Tyreek on the same team somehow. Because even though things have been a little shaky for the Jets, we know that Garrett Wilson has upside that too many guys do not have in the league. And same thing for Tyreek. So I'm not saying don't trade for Tyreek, but I'm just saying don't trade Garrett Wilson in a 1-for-1 straight up trade for him. All right, Corbin said good because I need because I need a DEDL. Let's go. All right, let's jump into this. Let me get my what's it called? Let me get my so I'm gonna be showcasing everybody on Sleeper just because like fuck everywhere else. It's all about Sleeper. But when it comes to where I look for percentages, I go to Yahoo on the percentages. And Abraham, what up, bro? So trying to put together a trade for Charbonnet, Derek Carr, and Strange for Barkley or a top running back or a top wide receiver. I mean, shit, that sounds like a pretty good deal, you know? Like, I mean, it sucks that Derek Carr got hurt last night. Kind of like messes some things up a little bit. Okay. Here we go. Ooh, that was a good one. And fantasy breakout DB question with Lake on bye. Pick up Winfield, got dropped due to injury, or Baker? Are you talking about Buda Baker? I don't know how close Antoine Winfield is to coming back. Let's see. How long has he been out? He's been out since week 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. He did get in some practices, didn't he? But I would just go get, yeah. Yeah, I would probably, man, I mean, I love Buddha. I mean, I love him so much. I literally have a drop. You know, like he's one of my favorite players and been one of my favorite players at the DB spot for a long time. Because of the uncertainty of Winfield right now, I'd say you almost have to go get Buddha. I mean, shit, 3 out of the 5 games this year, he's thrown down at least 20 points. 4 out of the 5, he's thrown down at least 16. I don't know what scoring you playing. I play an IDP 1, 2, 3. And he's a tackling machine, man. 2 out of the last both games. 2 out of his last game. 2 of his last games. So high, I can't even get this out. In his 2 last games, he's had 12 tackles total or more. So yeah. But I love Winfield, and depending on how deep the bench is, I would be trying to get both. And yes, Buda Baker's the man. And see, what was Javonte or Chubb? I mean, I feel like I can only say Javonte right now because we don't even know what the dealio is with with Chubb. So I feel like I can only say Javonte right now. And then played 2 ETN. Javonte Williams, that who that is, and Stevenson. ETN and fuck do the Broncos play? Chargers. I don't think JT plays. It's a really shit matchup, even if he does. Stevenson's got the Texans. For right now, I'm gonna say ETN and Stevenson. And hey, was my analysis on Ramondre Stevenson like 100% spot on last week when everybody else was saying, "Oh, Stevenson's benched. He's droppable." Jesse said Shakir is droppable. Is he? Oh, Shakir was dropped. Is he a wide receiver 1? Well, I don't think he's a wide receiver 1, but I think he's worth picking up. And Frizzle Fantasy, what up? Reed and Dobbins or Marvin Harrison and Christian Kirk? I guess what I don't like about this here is you're trading a good wide receiver for a good wide receiver, and then you're trading a shit wide receiver for a shit running back. And that we got to stop thinking about what Dobbins did in the first 2 weeks because his matchups are getting way worse. And like this week, they got the Broncos, man. That's like one of the worst running back matchups like out there. So I just don't want to make this trade. Like I want to get Reed and Marvin Harrison Jr. on the same team. Like I don't want to trade one for the other with some, with some shit sprinkled in, like, on top of it. So yeah, I would say rework that whole thing. Okay. Yo, Arbello, he said, got a sub and a like for me, big dog. Hell yeah, bro. We love when new people come around. And he said, like the chill vibe and not demanding super chats and give advice like the so-called experts. Yeah, and you know what? I've been playing fantasy football since 2006. I've been commissioning in fantasy football since 2007 because none of my friends really knew what the fuck's going on. I've been giving championship advice since 2010, but I've only been doing content since 2020. So there may be some people who know me. I have the biggest fantasy advice group on Facebook. We have over 100,000 members like over there. And so I've been giving advice on like Facebook and shit since when did I start that group? Like 2017 maybe. I started that group. And yeah, I don't demand super chats like everybody else, but I will tell you they are welcomed. I will never say no to a super chat, but yeah, I don't demand it though. It's, I have fun doing this. And like, this is like the fun part of my day. And like, you're about to see, I'm about to record some IDP videos, like while we're here, but yeah, man, I think that you will like this show a lot. If you like smoking, you will like this show more than any other show out there because nobody does it like me in that way. And I actually give pretty damn good advice. And everybody who's in the chat, what would you say if my advice, if you had to give a grade on what type of advice that I give as far as like your success off of my advice? A, B, C, D, F, and A? Let me know. Throw it in so some of the new peeps so they know what's good. And Tyler, he said, should I drop Patrick Queen or stick with him for now? Depends on who you're dropping him for, but he's actually been doing a lot better than in the beginning of the season. So Terrell, Kyler or Fields this week? Kyler. Draco, need a streamer QB this week. You have any opinions on who could have a good game? Yeah, for sure, dude. I dropped my QB waiver wire video yesterday. I dropped waivers faster than anybody. Like literally, these went live as soon as Monday Night Football ended. All of these started going live, and I will throw the link in here for you. Because everybody has different like options on the waivers. So why don't you do this for me, Draco? So I just don't give you like, some blanket like answer. Give me like the top 5 quarterbacks that you see available on waivers right now, and I'll tell you who I'd fuck with, you know, in your specific position. And Jesse said, would you rather have Wandale or Shakir? I feel like I would want Wandale more, but that is because of Shakir's injury. But I feel like I don't really just want to like cut bait on either one of them, you know? Sean said, dumbass ESPN app asked me to watch an outlook on Cortland Sutton's week, and it was a 41-second video with 0 words. What the fuck? See, like, that's what kind of content like you get from all the big dogs, right? Stupid asses. And Tyler said, what do I do with Damian Pierce? A dynasty, you hold until he has a good game, and then you try to sell, or you just drop and, you know, for someone else. Like when he was a rookie, I drafted him everywhere. I was telling people because of what was going on in Houston, like he's literally worth a back end of the 1st round pick. And then you know what I did? We parlay that into the next year. I traded him for a 1st and a 3rd like 5 times at least. I probably drafted him in like 10 leagues and traded him for like a 1st and a 3rd in like 5 different leagues. And I felt so fucking good about it. And those people probably hate me now because they paid up for him. But like, that's what you got to do with like people like that, right? It's like, man, like we killed it, you know? And like, when it's time to move on, we got to move on because like, yeah, you just already know like his value was like here. His value could only go down. Like his value couldn't even go up. Like, so it sucks. Basically a PowerPoint presentation with pictures and music, man. See, and like, you know, I would never want to work for ESPN, you know, like first off, but if it was like something like Pat McAfee, where it's like licensing my show or something, yeah, give me money, you know, we could do something like that. But I feel like everything that they do, it's like it's only a few people who seem like they're really tuned into like the fantasy world out of all the people that get paid to talk about fantasy for ESPN. And that's the thing that's like super fucking goofy about the whole thing. And Papa J says, show is fire. Hey, for sure, Huss. Appreciate you, bro. John said, should I trade Waddle for Amari Cooper? No, just because I don't want to trade a wide receiver for a wide receiver like that, guys. Too similar in value. And like once Tua comes back, you're going to like Waddle a lot more, I'm sure. Draco said, sweet, appreciate you. Rush Lord. Rush. He said, Huss, A+. Good start and sit, and only wish I started listening at the start of the season. There we go. That's what a lot of people say. Just wish I found you earlier. And Eli, yeah, Wandale, yeah, motherfuckers floor is 10 points. Hell yeah. John said, better than anyone else on YouTube. That's for sure. Fucking love it. And Terrell said, Pierce is a bum.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
And Mr. Wumbo, what sort of value you put on Jacoby Myers? Holds with Adams, basically gone. I mean, it sucks. The whole situation sucks. Like, we only liked Adams because it was Adams. You know, like, I mean, Gardner Minshew, like, he's a fun story and he's a cool bro. And he seems like a big ass stoner, you know, but like, he's super mid when, like, not even mid. He's like below average when it comes to like most things that, you know, the above average guys, you know, can do with the ball. It's not the most accurate. So yeah, I mean, we liked Myers when Adams was there off of Jacoby. And like now, if he's going to be gone, that means Jacoby's going to be the number one. That means he's going to be seeing the best defender every single week. Because nobody's ever going to put the best defender on Bowers. Like that just never happens. You never see the top cornerback shadowing a tight end, you know, it never happens. So I would try to trade him like to someone who thinks that Myers is going to do great with him being gone, with Adams being gone. Like, sell to that person for sure. Marco said, I'd give a 1. Best grade you can get in the German grading system. There you go. Said, you know, I'm a little behind the live stream. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. And Flashlight, what up, homie? Was offered CD for Marvin Harrison Jr. and Mostert single score. I should jump on it, right? If you're getting CD, yes, I would, because I don't know. like what the deal with A-Chain is going to be necessarily, but they said it was a concussion. We saw, I mean, if you watched it or you were like here watching, I mean, it was bad. Like, but if he just misses a week or two, like Mostert is really just like a week or two, like fill in, you know, and that's it. And I feel like to jump up from a Marvin Harrison Jr. to a CD with only Mostert being the throw in, yeah, I say go for it. Hey, Terrell said started Tolbert this past week. Let's go. Papa J said definitely the best and only IDP Heat. The others talk redraft, no dynasty. Always miss your questions because no money or super chats. Plus, ain't nobody got the jukebox and the bong rips. Let's go. Let me hit that song. Charles said you like Tolbert. Well, I don't hate him, but we were talking about him earlier. He's kind of like a flex guy to me. So like a top 36 like type of guy. And I'd rather have the third option on kind of like a high-powered offense versus like the first or second option on shitty offenses. So yeah, you could do a lot worse than Tolbert. And like Cooks, he's out for like a while, right? So he'll be able to fill in he'll be able to fill in a flex role for you, I'm sure, or at least be an option that you consider putting in there. Chrissy said it's obvious that some of the other leagues I'm in besides Huss and one of the Guillotine League make the bylaws to benefit themselves. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that shit's lame. That shit's super lame. That's why, man, there's going to be one day where, like, because of, like, guys like me, and, I mean, there's other companies out there that do this, but, like, where nobody wants to play in a league where, like, it's commissioned by a person who's in the league because there's too much shady shit that goes on with commissioners. And, like, do I want to win? Like, fuck yeah, I want to win. But it's like, I don't know, just like integrity comes in like somewhere, right? Like, because I mean, I don't play in like even what I consider an easy league because I don't want an easy win. Like, I don't even like if I would play in a single QB league, everything's hella default, you know. And even if I won, I'm like, yeah, it's just a single QB league, you know. It's just like we only got 7 starters, you know. It's like I just got lucky because like anybody could get lucky. Like that's kind of the way that I would like feel about it. And Corey said, should I even bother picking up Tolbert? There's a chance I might not start him this week. I'm last in the waiver priority, or should I use it this moving forward? So I would use it because if you got him with the 12th pick or like 12th waiver priority, that'd be really good. And then like, you know what? Then you're just 12th next week and you got the pick, you know, so you're kind of in like the same spot that you are now. This week isn't like really a crazy week for like, you know, waiver wire guys. Like, so if you are okay with not getting Tolbert, but maybe just waiting until like midnight, you know, 1 o'clock or whatever, you know, checking the waivers, see who made it through, then you keep your waiver. But I feel like Tolbert's going to be good for a few weeks. So even not starting him, I feel like over like Wicks, Akers, I mean, because those were who were the options? The same league or different league? I know I just assume everyone's asking me about the same league, but I guess yeah, tell me like who would be the drops. Can I drop Whittington? He's on bye. Probably, because I think Cooper Kupp comes back. I don't know about Puka, but I bet they're getting super fucking close. Super fucking close. And Mr. Wumbo said, even the just facts, corporate tweets are just farming engagement. The tweets about Rice weren't worded in any way that made anyone seem like it was any good news, even though it was basically out the season. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's all, I mean, I want more engagement, and you'll see like the titles and shit that I do, like it's all to try to get more engagement. And I hope that it's working. And I hope that people are like, man, why is this douchebag doing the clickbait, you know, type of shit? But there's certain parts that I just have to play the game, and like the whole packaging of everything, the title, the thumbnail, and all that. It's, you know, if that's not on point, nothing else will be either. For example, turn on the damn auto sub. Yeah, that's, I mean, super lame. It really is, especially when people just think of it in one way, not knowing that there's multiple ways that the feature could be used. Yeah, that's bullshit. And Marco said, even you even playing kickers only dynasty league. Yeah. Restaurant said, Commander, the comm majors at CBS this morning said, this is the best waiver wire in the last 5 years. Like, man, see, like that. Like, even if you see me with like clickbaity like type of shit, like here's mine. Like, here's all my titles that I came up with. Okay, you guys ready? It's hold on, fuck, hit the wrong button. So here's the first one. Running backs that will save your fantasy team in week 6. Okay, that's my running back one. Wide receivers. Waiver wire wizards. Snag these 8 wide receivers in week 6. For the defenses. 5 defenses you need to pick up for week 6. 6 tight ends you need to pick up for week 6 success. And add these 6 quarterbacks before your opponents do. And I really appreciate people going, and I mean the videos are really short. Like for the waiver wire, running backs 8 minutes, wide receiver 9 minutes, defenses 5 minutes, tight ends 6 minutes, quarterbacks 8 minutes. Like literally, if you guys go and watch it on double speed, because you can watch it on double speed. I sound funny, but you can still understand like everything that I'm saying because I talk pretty slow for the most part. And the reason why I talk slow is because there's some salesmen once upon a time that told me the people who talk the fastest are the most nervous and the most full of shit. So like ever since then, I was like, you know what? I got to talk slow so people understand what the fuck I'm talking about. And that I don't sound like I'm full of shit like a lot of these guys do out here. And Corey said, prioritize Tolbert or Conklin. I have Strange as my only tight end. I'd be dropping Wicks for Tolbert. I would prioritize Conklin because you'd actually play him, right? Yeah, I would prioritize him. Draco, what do I do with Ford? You play him until Chubb's back. I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't think there's really too many people that would want to trade for him if you're talking about a redraft league. Unless it's the Chubb person, you could trade him to the whoever has Chubb. You might be able to trade him over there. Yeah, that's what everyone should be doing with Ford. Terrell, I do Dynasty. How does the taxi work? It's like a practice squad. But with this practice squad, you can't poach anyone else's practice squads. But it's like, you know how they put like the in case of emergency little shit, and you have to break the glass to like get out the axe or whatever. Got to think of it that way. It depends on the settings that you have set up, because there's multiple ways that you can set this up. So you got to go look. But the way that I have it set up is that the taxi squad locks at the beginning of the season. So that means in the off season, you can move people in and out of the taxi squad, you know, no problem, like whatever. And I have it set up to where they can stay on for their rookie year and their sophomore year. They can stay on for 2 years. I don't even know if that's the default, the way that Sleeper sets it up. So you have to go like look at your settings. But so for my settings specifically, if the season, once the season starts, everything's locked. You cannot put a guy in you cannot put a rookie in the taxi squad at that point. And if you take a rookie out of the taxi squad, you cannot put them back. And that's it. You know, and they're not active on your team. You know, they count towards the inactives. And Mr. Wombo, I mean, all those titles are basically the norm. I've never seen a video like top three wide receivers. I think you might know something. Yeah, who knows? And Jones is being listed week to week. Which Jones we talking about? Draco, he offered Downs for Ford. Do I take that? Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah, do that. Yep. If it's as long as it's Flacco, Downs is like a good play. So that's one thing that you got to keep in mind. Downs is a good guy to have on your bench. And if it's Flacco, throw him in there. Throw him in there. Chris said, yeah, my other wide receiver on the roster, more Brian Thomas. Ridley says a chance I'm not getting Tolbert this week. Okay, yeah. I have Mondre, Gibson, Demont, Tracy Eckler, Braylon. Nice. What up, Hassan? Say hey there tonight. NXT on the CW. Yeah. Yeah. Richmond Network and the AEW Dynamite. Okay. There we go. Aaron Jones is week to week. Well, I mean, they already got the bye week, so I guess that's not the worst news like in the world. We already knew that if they were playing this week, he would not be playing. We know that. I think that he's going to miss an extra week because of this. I know he's had like a hip issue like before. Crispy, would you drop Gipsy for Tracy in a New York minute? In a New York minute. Yes, sir. Okay. Here we go. Let's get down to biz. What up? What up? It is Alex, the fantasy football hustler, back at you with another IDP video for you IDP savants. We are breaking down the top IDP waiver wire ads. Remember, every IDP league is different, so I try to get the guys who are very available, even if you play in deeper leagues. So I will kind of specify this guy's probably not available if you play in a more shallow league, or this guy, you got to get in a deeper league. If you have questions, throw them in the chat. Or if you have questions, leave them as a comment. I do my best to answer all the YouTube comments or wherever you're commenting at. And if you want to get a little bit more direct one-on-one advice, go to 420crew.com. We have a Discord set up. We've got group chats on Patreon. That's our Patreon private social media community. And if you need to jump to a specific position, use the timestamps that are right below. Jump to whatever position you need, but all positions are going to be valuable. Let's get down to biz. All right, there we go. There's the start. Now we got to keep going. And Hassan, I saw Silent Hill remake. Okay. And the new Dragon Ball Z video game is out. Oh shit, son. What up, Noah? What's going down, bro? And Corey said one of my IDP in the one IDP spot league, do I drop Snead for Bernard or Wagner? Not Snead. Definitely not Snead. And man, you know how I think about Wagner, man. Like, I fucking love him, dude. And like, get Wagner. He was like my number 4 linebacker coming in. And I know he had 2 games that were like a little bit suspect. But his 2 games that were a little bit suspect, he had 17 total tackles in those 2 games. So those were the only 2 games that he was not above 20 points in IDP 1, 2, 3. I know your scoring might be a little bit different, Corey, than IDP 1, 2, 3, but Bobby Wagner fucking kills it. And like, he has 2 sacks total over the last 2 games. He's usually not really getting a sack guy. Yeah. Yeah, and yes, like just get Wagner so we never have to worry about it again. Because Wagner is the fucking man, dude. He's the man. And I know EJ Speed's been doing good, but you know what? Fucking Wagner, dude. He always does good. He always does good. And EJ Speed's been there too. See, he put up 15 points, so it's like, fuck, we got to get rid of him. He didn't throw down 20. That's the tough part is like, man, all these guys are good. All these guys are good. And it's tough to like chase who's going to be better that week because like all these guys are good. And Joshua Wednesday Brown, AJ Brown and Mixon coming back. Shit, I hope this week. Be paying attention. Make sure you're here throughout the week. We'll be talking injury news tomorrow, whatever comes up, and over the rest of the week as well. Pate said, who wins this trade? Cook, Pitts, Allen for Tyreek, A-Chain, Ingram. You both win and lose at the same time because you're winning on players and you're losing on players. Tyreek, in theory, is the best in this trade. We still have to wait until they come back, until Tua comes back. I like the Tyreek side a little bit better, but this isn't a trade that I would really like want to make. I'd want to make a more calculated trade. What up, Zach? What's going on, bro? He said, with Cup, Pacheco, Rice, and Collins injured on my team, should I prioritize Tank Bigsby or Tolbert from waivers? RBs are Brees Hall and Ford. Wide receivers are JSN, Downs. Fuck, man. So you need to put in a claim on both because if you don't get one, hopefully you get the other. But I would prioritize Bigsby. if Hall and Ford are your only two like relevant, running backs until Pacheco gets back, like, yeah, you got to prioritize Bigsby. Okay. Seawolf said Hunt contract to be extended. I wouldn't guarantee it. I doubt it. Actually, yeah, I kind of doubt it. And Corey said, but going Wagner, ? Yes. Thank you so much, Hustler. Yes, Wagner, man. Fucking love him. I love him. In a single IDP league, it's probably tough to get attached to like anybody because like you want like at least if it's IDP 1, 2, 3, you want those 20-point games. Pate said similar question, but Bigsby or Juju out of the waivers. Well, so did you notice how he gave me like the running back like options and wide receiver options? Because I would prioritize it based, specifically on your team and which one you were hurting at more. He only has Ford as his number 2. What if Chubb comes back this week? I mean, there is an outside shot that could happen. So that's why for him, it was better to prioritize Bigsby. Bigsby is, I mean, no matter how you slice it, he's a top 3 waiver guy on this week. And I think like for most leagues, he's going to be the number 1 waiver wire pickup. Yeah, my whole team's injured right now. It sucks, dude. Sucks, Zach. And Flash said, how do no Chiefs players try to hook up with the owner's daughter, Grace? Maybe it's something in their, something in their rules. Sean said, how do you deal with how it's such a long wait to see how the games turn out? He said, new to this hobby, and I'm finding out it's hard to wait compared to other games that I can play whenever I want. Explain that one more time for me, and I'll tell you exactly why. I just want to understand exactly what you mean by that. So explain what you mean by waiting such a long time to see how games turn out. Like, because you have, like, are you talking about throughout the week? Because we only get like, like Sunday's like the main day. Is that what you're talking about? Oh, like the wait between Monday and Sunday. Yeah. Well, see, it's because like it's a whole process. Like you see me here, like Sean's just wait until the off season because like the reason why this is the dopest fantasy community around is because this shit literally goes for us every single month of all the years, whether it's content that we're talking about, whether it's dynasty, that we're doing, whether it's dynasty drafts that we're going to start in February, then they go all the way through like through August, and so we know that players would die if they played more often, if they played more frequently than what they do. So I think it's so much of a process to get it right that like, if you think about like baseball or basketball, it's kind of just like you start who's available, most of the time. Like a lot of times there's not even deep benches. There's not a lot of thought process, behind it. It's like, I got this guy, like maybe I have a choice between these couple guys or whatever, but like just so much is on the line for fantasy football because you only have 14 weeks before like the playoff tournament comes. And that's the tough part is like, we have to be so locked in that like, it can't be just like playing, multiple games, it's like, it's gotta be just like once a week. He said, like, none of my players are on Thursday Night Football. It's probably better. It's probably better that way. And you know what? If you need something to get your juices flowing during some of these games, I do host. If you're familiar with Super Bowl squares, I host squares for every single primetime game, and they're only $6.90 per number. So for low stakes, you can get some action on the games. And the winners, there's 3 $80 winners. There's 4 $20 winners. And then there's 1 $180 winner. Seawolves drop Moss for Bigsby or Tracy. Bigsby, if I was making a choice, but man, it's tough, man. It's tough. Yeah, I'd Flash said sad. I'd pick either one of them over. And Corey said, do you like Dorian Williams, Pratt crossover? Well, no, I don't like any of them over Wagner. Do I like all of those guys? Yes. Yeah, I love all of those guys. Like there might be rosters where I roster all of these guys and start them on the same team. You know, yes, very much in love with Dorian Williams. He's one of my favorites. That's for sure. And Sean said, yeah, so I've got no fantasy stuff to entertain me all the way until Sunday, but cool. Thanks for the tips on the Square games. Yeah. And he said, no fantasy stuff for my own players results. Yeah, of course. Got this channel. Yeah. I'll keep you entertained. I'll keep you entertained. We'll be talking a lot of fantasy. All right. Here we go. I need to get more water. Been doing all this talking. Haven't refilled the water. I can't believe we're only about to get to the first player right now. Damn it. All right. Here we go. The first linebacker that I'm going to tell you about, he's 11% rostered in Yahoo default leagues. That's where the percentages are going to be coming from. Probably not available if you're in a really deep IDP league, because Frankie Louvu is definitely a household name for the deeper leagues. He's solid, man. Like, I mean, I've been telling you guys about him since way before this year, and then even going into this year about how him and Bobby Wagner are going to kill it. But of course, we can't talk Wagner because he's way more rostered than guys that I talk about here. But just if you're on YouTube right now, look at the screen. 6 points, 18 points, 13 points, 22, 36. And then the last 3 games, 7 total tackles in each of those games, a fumble recovery in each of the last 2 games, a forced fumble in the game in 2 games ago, and then 7 total tackles. Did I say that? 7 total tackles in each of the last 3 games. We'll cut that out if I already said that. He's killing it. He might not be available in your league if you're in a deeper league, but I got to shout him out for peeps that might be in a more shallow league because he's the man. Here for the memes. Yo, would you trade Rashee Rice for Trevor Lawrence and a 25-second in a Superflex Dynasty League? I have Purdy and Lamar's QBs, but literally have nobody. Yeah, I would do that. Fuck yeah, dude. QBs are usually more valuable than the receivers anyways. My receivers are Chase, Amon, Garrett, Shakir, Pierce, Polk. I mean, really just like the first 3, Chase, Amon, Ron, Garrett. I mean, definitely makes a guy like Rashee Rice a little bit more expendable, especially because he's not playing this year. So, you know, the fruits of the labor can't even, be squeezed on Rice until like next year. So yeah, if you're any kind of contender, I probably would. And you get the pick like as well. So that's even better. Here we go. Shout out to Jerome Baker. You always see me using their glass on the show. Now we're talking about Jerome Baker, the linebacker for the Seahawks. Let's go. He had a hamstring injury that kept him out 2 weeks, but he comes back and then boom, right back on the scene. 32 total points, 14 total tackles, a sack, a forced fumble, just like literally killing it. He plays a bunch of snaps over there, and Seattle, Seattle, we kind of have always loved their linebackers, and Jerome Baker's fitting in there pretty nice. I mean, obviously the first couple games with him getting hurt in the second game didn't turn out the best, and then he missed 2 games, but now he's readily available. He's only rostered in 2% of leagues. Go pick him up.
Pick him up.
Let's do it. Yeah, see, dude, fucking Dorian Williams. Can't even talk about him, man. He's too rostered. All right, next guy. Trayvon Wallace. Shouted this dude out because Josie Jewell and Shaq Thompson, neither one of them played. So he was kind of next man up over there. We know that Shaq Thompson's he's done, right? Someone fact check me. Is Shaq Thompson done? Yeah, Shaq Thompson, yeah, he's done, right? So Trayvon Wallace, he'll be the guy with Josie Jewell over there, and we'll see if Josie Jewell is going to miss more than just this 1 week. So yeah, get the rook, Get him on your squad. He's literally rostered in only 1% of leagues, not even rostered, probably only the deepest of the deepest leagues that he is rostered in, because I'm talking Yahoo, and Yahoo doesn't even have dynasties. And here for the meme said, thanks for the advice. Need to compete and need to be sure I can field the competitive team weekly. If I lose Brock or Lamar, I'd have no backups. It's over for me. Yeah. Unless it was like last year where like everybody lost their quarterbacks, right? And like hopefully that doesn't happen again this year. Here we go. You've seen this guy on my videos a few times. Mac Wilson Jr., Arizona Cardinals linebacker. He's 13% rostered, so maybe some of you guys listened and you picked him up when I told you to a few weeks ago. He goes in spurts where, you know, he'll have his 20-point games or his 11-point games, but he's had 3 20-point games throughout the season so far, and he's only had one game where he was in single digits. So we love that. Going up against Green Bay this week. So someone that you can pick up.
Pick him up.
And fire up.
All right. Fire him up.
So go do it. You need a linebacker? Go get him. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty slim. It's pretty slim at the at the linebackers this week on guys that I'm super, because I'm only really talking about guys that I'm kind of like super excited to pick up. I mean, there's so many guys that could be picked up. There we go. I am surprised that DeMarvion Overshown is only rostered in 5% of leagues. I mean, super deep leagues, he's probably not available to. The Dallas Cowboys linebacker who's been stepping it up since they had some injuries over there. Had at least 16 points in each of the last 2 weeks. Had 7 tackles this past week, 8 the week before. He just gets a lot of tackles. Like, that's really what it is. High floor. He's had single digits in 2 of the games. Outside of that, been doing solid in these last 2 games, 16 and 17 points. He's got the Lions this week, so really good matchup for him. And then they got the bye after that, but I would pick him up.
Pick him up
and play, definitely, if he's available, because he shouldn't be. Hey, fantasy football lad, what up, homie? Jones, A-Chain, Kelsey on bye for me this week. Fuck's sake, man. Yeah, it's a shit bye. It's a shit bye week for sure. Here we go. JD, yo, what up, homie? Now, my last linebacker here, I'm going to tell you to pick him up.
Pick him up.
And I'm also going to take a victory lap because I told you to pick him up last week. It's Justin Strnad. If you're listening to this in audio, Strnad is how you spell his last name. He is the Alex Singleton replacement. Last week, 2 weeks ago, against the Jets in week 4, 18 points. And then this week in week 5, after I told you to pick him up, he comes out and has 9 solo tackles for 18 points. He's still 0% rostered. That means I made 0 impact with this dude on Yahoo leagues. I know that he was picked up in sleeper leagues because I saw it in leagues that I'm in. But what do you guys need to do with a linebacker of this caliber?
Pick him up.
Don't slack, man. You've already slacked for 1 week, and he's thrown up 18 points in back-to-back weeks. Now we got the defensive linemen, and then we're finishing it off with the DBs at the end. So stay tuned to get through all the players. Could be a player that kills it for you moving forward. Fantasy lad, am I fucked up with Javonte Williams and Trey Sermon as my starters? I mean, yeah, it's fucked up, but you got two viable guys right now, and so there's some teams that don't even have two viable starters out there. And like Trey Sermon, it's a really bad start this week for him against Tennessee, but yeah, it could be way worse, my dude. It could be way worse. Just think about if you didn't get Trey Sermon when you picked him up. Here we go. JT isn't playing in week 6. I don't think so. They said he had a high ankle sprain. So I like 3 weeks, like that would be like bare minimum. Like we saw Barkley do that, and like usually it's 4 weeks on that injury. So yeah, I'm no doctor, I'm no expert like on that, but I do not think that JT is playing this week. It's a shit matchup anyways, going up against the Titans. JD asked you if I should swoop group to stay number 1 and screw over the other team in my league. I felt like I was being too much of a dick. It's a family league. Turns out I didn't need to do anything. See, there you go, man. There you go. Had it in the bag all the time. Good shit. Good shit. The first defensive lineman that I'm going to talk about here is Trayvon Walker. And what have I been saying about this guy?
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
And he is a bum. He's super inconsistent. And like people are going to be clamoring to go pick him up because he scored 42 points on the Indianapolis Colts this past week. If you play an IDP 1, 2, 3, he had 3 sacks. And it sucks when a guy like this, when you have him on your team and he's been sucking for 3 weeks in a row. So it's like, yeah, I'm not starting this guy, throwing him on the bench, and then he balls out. And then we try to chase those points. So don't do it. Don't do it. Let one of your idiot league mates go get Walker, because I'm sticking with what I said the entire time.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
24 points, 4 points, 7 points, 2 points, and then 42 points. Like he literally scored more in this game than he scored in the entire season. What's the likelihood of that happening again? Probably not that good. So yeah, screw him. Marco, I'm no gynecologist, but I could take a look at it. You're a fucking savage, Marco. You're a fucking savage. The DLs suck. All right. All right, this next guy is such a bum that I got to do some advanced research here. Hold on one sec. We got to go check the snap percentages of this motherfucker. Okay, I knew there was something. Okay, I knew there was something. Why? Okay. Trade 1. Choose one for the flex. Chuba, Hunt, Bigsby. Well, it's definitely not going to be Hunt because they don't play this week. See you keeping me on my toes, though. I like it. Who the hell has Chuba got? The Falcons. It's not that good of a matchup. Bigsy's got the Bears. Fuck it, bro. I'm going Bigsby. I'm going Bigsby in what I think is going to be a little bit of a better matchup. And Rushor said, just curious, do you do a rankings list of players before the drafts in August? It's a yes and no, because I don't do super, super extended lists. For some positions, I did. Like we could probably even go back, and I think there were some positions I did do kind of extended lists, might have been offense. So, but I hate rankings. Like I want to get someone who wants to do rankings, who's really good at it. But it's too much. It takes too much time for me to do rankings. I'm such a fucking nitpicker about shit. So I don't do the rankings a lot of time. I'll do short lists, top 12, top 24, stuff like that, certain positions. But it takes so much time, and I'm a nitpicker. Sean said, any thoughts about Puka? That mid-season, right? He could be out until week 8. Yeah, he might be out until mid-season. I mean, that's pretty much my only thought really about him. Like him when he comes back, but we still got some weeks. Number 2 on my list here for defensive linemen that you could potentially pick up and start, Logan Hall. And man, same exact thing that I've been saying about Trayvon Walker this entire time.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
He's definitely been a bum and a bum now. I dove a little deeper. He's getting a lot more snaps now than he has been in the past. It is due to injury on their defensive line. So if they had all 5 guys or 6 guys healthy that were on their line, he's like a 30 to 40% like snap guy. And then it really kind of sucks. He's not really he's just usually not getting that much work. And now, so Vita Vea was out in week 3. He gets a little uptick in the snaps. And then Mike Green was out in week 4. And then you got Mike Green and Ben Still who are out in week 5. And so he played almost 70% of the snaps. Logan Hall, that is, gets 2 sacks. You're on the field more, you're going to get more opportunity. So that's why I like Logan Hall as of right now, is if some of these defenders are missing, he's going to be a guy. But if he just produces a little bit more, like they wanted this guy to be a guy. He needs to have a 3rd-year breakout because he's been nothing but a bum for these last couple years. Rant over. On to the next. How about overrated and underrated? That's a good idea. I do like taking ideas like that so it's all about efficiency. Like that's what I'm trying to do. Like it's not that I don't want to give information, but it's about how can because I'm a one-man team. I do all the editing. I do all the thumbnails. I do all the marketing and promotions. I'm still live streaming here for 3 or 4 hours, every day doing this shit. So it's like, if it's something that I can be really efficient with, I'm all about it for sure. And Turtle One said, dang, my home league looks so bad this week because of injuries and bye week. Looks like a waiver wire pickup team. Oh, man. And fantasy football lads are an option to play these defensive players or what? Fuck yeah, dude. It's called IDP, individual defensive players. I host a lot of them, and there's not too many YouTubers who bring the content about IDP. So I've always been an IDP savant, and I'm sharing the information. And people love it. It's the video of the week that brings in the most. It's the uploaded video of the week that brings in the most subscribers every week, always. And Marco said, do a video about players you need to drop. That's good. That's good. Fan said, I need a tight end this week because I got Kelsey. Okay, Conklin, Andrews, Schultz. I mean, dude, fuck Andrews, man. Nobody mention Mark Andrews to me ever again. We do not even want to get him in the same breath with anybody who actually gets points. Mark Andrews scores like as much points as we do sitting at home. I'd go Conklin. And Perocco. Rather drop Judy or Wicks. Wicks. And Chef Rand said IDP's your niche for real. Yeah. That's definitely since there's nobody that does it, that's something that definitely gets more people finding me. Even just the one IDP video per week. That's really what people are looking for. And that's what I realized. I could do a whole bunch of IDP content, but it'd really be for no reason because people care about who to pick up and start. And that's about it. And if you have an actual question, you can ask me the actual question. And Chef Rand, bum alert.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
All right. Let's get over who else can we talk about here? I don't even think anyone should pick this guy up. I just want to give him props. Ah, man. Okay, there we go. Now, when you're combing through your waiver wires this week, you may see Kalen Saunders over here, the D lineman for the Saints that got the INT and was like running like crazy. This motherfucker was looking fast out there. Get this guy on the offense. That's all I'm gonna say. But he's probably not someone that you're gonna want to pick up. Just had the interception. He had a shitload of tackles though. Like, so if that's any kind of cause to pause, like him getting a super jump in snaps and getting 7 total tackles, along with the INT. Maybe we get him on our radar, but I just wanted to shout him out because it was a dope ass play that he got the interception right inside the end zone. And man, he was moving. Big boy was moving out there. So yeah, just want to shout him out because that was an impressive play. And so Conklin now need to drop someone from Justin Fields, Aaron Jones, Algier, A-Chain, Leggett, Jamison Williams. I know it might hurt, but I'm going to drop Leggett. He got hurt again. He just keeps getting hurt, man. He can't stay healthy. He can't. I mean, and I'm only talking about in his short career because he's been hurt like 3 times already. And he's got hurt 3 times already. We're only going into week 6. And how about Bowers being tight end 1 so far on a god awful offense? I mean, it's impressive, but it's like, I don't like to fat shame. If anything's happening, people are fat shaming me. But he's like the skinny kid at fat camp, man. It's like, we can get all excited for him, but it's he's the shiniest piece of doo-doo in like the worst tight end season ever. And, Quincy Jones said it before, and I just like repeating it. Can't shine doo-doo, baby. Tight ends suck. No, but he's doing good, though. He's doing good. And for Zills, I'm about to cancel my offer. Oh, how long do you give Foos? Make it an well, actually, I guess it's only if you're playing on Sleeper where you can make it an exploding offer. I like to send an offer and then send a message to that person, try to get their attention. On Sleeper, you can see if someone looks at the trade. If they leave you on red, then you just take it down. I don't know how it is everywhere else. I'm about to cancel my offer. Take it down, bro. If it already feels like it's been too long, probably been too long. Wick sounds very similar to the German word Wix. He said, and it means wank. Oh, man. Sean said, what the heck are people thinking dropping Aaron Jones in a 12-team league? He's really good. I mean, people panic, dude. People panic, and I bet, watch how spot on my analysis is. There's no IR spot in that league, and there's only 5 bench spots. Tell me if I'm right. Yeah, Chef Rat Marco with the meaningful info for sure. And Lad said, you think Algier has value going forward? I think he has more value than Leggett going forward. If Leggett keeps getting hurt, then that's why I'm dropping Wicks like he drops passes. He drops a lot of passes. He drops a lot of passes. All right, let's see. DL. There we go. Next guy on the list here, Mr. Jonathan Allen, defensive lineman from the Washington Commandos, back-to-back 18-point games. It kind of depends on who he's going against because it seems like he's like a touchdown-dependent tight end, if I can give the equivalent. He's like a sack-dependent defensive lineman, but he has gotten a sack in each of the last 2 games. So that is a little cause to pause. Going up against Baltimore, I know that Lamar doesn't take a lot of sacks, but he's been known to take a few here and there. And then he's got Carolina like after that. So if like we were looking just like someone that you might need for like a week or 2, I think Jonathan Allen is a really good candidate to get over there. And now that Washington, like, this might not be the game where they go up. They might not go up all early on Baltimore. Unless the defensive linemen lick their chops and they, just getting after the quarterback. But I think that if there's a game where you think that Washington is about to be leading that, guys like Jonathan Allen get to rush the quarterback a lot more. And at least in these last 2 games where they were kind of doing really solid on offense, it let their defensive guys just rush the quarterback, and he got a sack in each game. So Jonathan Allen,
Pick him up.
he's only 6% rostered as of now. And John said the Commandos. Yes, sir. They're not the Commanders around here because they're usually getting caught with their pants down. You know, that's why they're the Commandos. And they like legit, Jaden Daniels might make me stop calling them the Commandos because like they're not getting caught with their pants down anymore. It's like they're catching the motherfuckers who were fucking up. And Troy to 1, AJ Brown comes back, thinks he might. My super flex spot, I have Stafford, Minshew, Flacco. 0 QBs on waivers, man. Right? I mean, that's not a bad move. Not a bad move. Gotta try to find someone who's not bullshit. If anyone is interested in potentially being a part of some of the IDP like content, at least helping with the research, let me know, because I have a couple specific things that I do want to track, but it's kind of hard for me to get the information every single week. And Sean, should I drop Zach Moss? Bigsby and Dowdle are on waivers. I would drop him for either one of those guys. Do you have another person you can drop to try to get both? I prefer to call them the commies. Yeah, see, I try not to just get bullshit players, you know, or players that are just at the top of the list. And William, would you drop Dell or Kraft for Cousins? Burrow, already have Laporta. Wide receivers are solid. I feel like before I did that, I would try to make a 2-for-1 trade somehow, where one of those guys would be in the trade. So maybe go look for a guy who really needs a tight end. Maybe go look for someone who's really wide receiver needy. And yeah, then you trade one of them plus one other piece, and then you upgrade that piece, and then you have an extra spot, and then you can pick up Cousins. I know easier said than done. Yeah, make a trade if you can. Oh, shit. Woo. Sorry, guys. Couldn't even hit the... that happened so fast, I couldn't even hit the mute. Sean, my other RB bench is Bucky. I feel like I would rather have both of these guys over Bucky as well. I know Bucky's going to come into more work, it seems like. But I like those other guys better. Bigsby and then Dowdle based on the matchups, but I like Dowdle's long-term more. What up, Johnny? Said internet just came back onto my apartment complex. Damn, bro, they had you without internet? That shit sucks. All right. Man. This guy's probably not even available in some leagues, but I feel like I gotta shout him out because he's probably dropped in a shitload of leagues. All righty, Sam Hubbard. He's 12% rostered. Might not be there in the league that you play in, but if he is, go pick him up.
Pick him up.
He hasn't been that great until this Baltimore game. Got a sack and 9 tackles. it's the matchup like over the next 2 weeks as well. They're playing the Giants and then the Browns 2 weeks in a row. So just really good matchups for a defensive lineman. And if he's available in your league, go snatch him. Man, this shit sucks. Because I want to have more guys for people to pick up, but fuck, dude. Frizzell, the guy in last place, only has good player Adams. I sent him an offer. Ridley and Wicks for Adams. Okay. And what platform are you on? You know, fuck it. We're just gonna. That'll just be it for the defensive lineman. How many did I just do right now? I feel like it's so bad. Corey said in a deep league, who do you prefer, Dare or Abdullah? Dare. Okay, Yahoo, 14 man. Yeah, DL's super thin, man. And I just don't want to bring up a bunch of like, you know, random fucking players just to bring them up. All right, let's just jump into the DBs. And Marco, Pitts, Mo Alley, or Theo? Who the hell the Falcons play? The Panthers. Let me check some. How bad have the Panthers been? I know in the first 2 weeks they were giving up like the most points to tight ends. Let's go see. I don't know if that's the case still. Yeah, Panthers have been really solid against defending the tight end in the last 3 weeks. So I don't know if Pitts is the play. But man, Mo Alley and Theo, fuck, man. Feel like I'm just gonna start Pitts as of now, but I feel like I want to get Theo in a deep league. Who do you prefer, Slayton or Hodge? Slayton. What's with the guy from the Colts? Mo Alley. So it's if Flacco. If Flacco's there, I do like Mo Alley. But you know, if it's Richardson, he's Mo Alley small. If it's Flacco, it could be Mo Alley big. And did you guys see like the tight end video? Did you guys watch it? What do you think of the little inserts that I threw in there? And tell them I'm gonna have to wait on the waivers to go through and see who's left if I don't get my pickups. Yeah. All right. Onward to the DBs. Now onward to the DBs. The first guy that I got to mention here is Patrick Surtain. Don't chase those points because he had 2 interceptions and a touchdown. So don't chase those points, but have to shout him out either way. He's one of the dopest cornerbacks in the league. And if your wide receiver is going up against him, you got to know that Patrick Surtain's probably shutting him down. He's only had 1 game over 20 points, and then he's had 2 games over 13 points. The other ones have just been single-digit games. It's because he doesn't get thrown out a lot. So that's my disclaimer is don't chase the points on Patrick Surtain. But it was dope, man. It was a dope-ass game. Could also start Juwan Johnson. George play. Should I trade Mostert and Kittle? Trade Mostert and Kittle for Kamara and Laporta? I don't think so. And I'll have that drop soon. I don't think so, Tim. Oh, the DL from the Colts. Onyemata? Is that who you're talking about? Onyemata? If Quiddy Pay comes back, I don't like him as much. I usually don't shout out too many corners, but when it's very limited on options, sometimes we got to shout out some corners. So I'm shouting out Christian Gonzalez right now. He's had 3 games over 12 points. This past week, he gets a big INT against Miami, and he's had at least 6 tackles in 3 out of the 5 games. So is he amazing? No. But do I think that he's going to be getting 10 points on a consistent basis? Yes. And that's a lot of what we're looking for out of a DB that we're just throwing in during a bye week or a flex. So Christian Gonzalez, man, on those dang New England Patriots, he's been pretty solid out there in the first couple games of the season. Tolbert or Lockett in the flex. Who did the Seahawks play again? Well, the 49ers. I'd probably go Lockett. Jalen Jones worth a flyer. Kind of. You just yeah, what's he been getting? Forced fumble this past week. That's what happened. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, he's only 5% rostered. Let's throw him up there. Here for the meme said, dude, the trade I mentioned earlier with Lawrence and Rice just changed to an early second. So what do you mean? Oh, so it's Lawrence plus an early second for Rice. Yeah, see, there we go, man. People just, they want Rice so bad. And T-Law's been like kind of, like up and down. There you go. Odeyingbo, okay. Odeyingbo. Gino or Dak, single QB. Probably Dak. Let's talk about Jalen Jones from the Indianapolis Colts. He's only 5% rostered. Just like the other DBs that we've shouted out before, the Nick Crosses of the world, the Julian Blackmans of the world, who are now rostered in too many. The roster ship is too high to where we don't even mention him on this. Now we got Jalen Jones. This guy gets a lot of tackles. He does. And if we look at his points, he has 3 games over 20 points. He has a 14-point game mixed in, and then he only has 1 game where he got single-digit points. So, yeah, if you are hurting at DB, Jalen Jones.
Pick him up.
Let's do it. All right, I got to go refill my water. I can't be slacking on the water. All right. I'll be right back. All right. This one is more for the peeps in the shallow leagues because he is rostered in 14% of leagues. That is Minka Fitzpatrick. Only 1 game was single-digit points. He had 10 total tackles this past week and 21 points. Best game of the season for him so far. So just throwing it out there. If you guys playing a little bit more shallow leagues, that Minka Fitzpatrick is available.
Pick him up.
Let's do it. Rush said, House, would you go Cousins over Love rest of season? No. Well, no, but I want to get both. And no, I'll be going in between spurts. I'm still answering the chat. You're good. But no, I think I would I want to pick up Cousins, but I don't want him I'm not just gonna blindly say I want Cousins over Love and drop Love or trade him away or anything like that. Tyler Nubin, For the Giants, one of my favorite IDP rookies to pick up in the dynasties. This is the guy I was telling you, going to be an instant starter. And boy, was he. And he has been. He had a couple, whatever games, week 2, week 3. But the last 2 weeks, 17 points and 21 points and 17 total tackles in each of those last 2 games combined. Forced fumble, a fumble recovery in the last 2 games. He's been handling biz for sure. One of the better rookies on the defensive side of things right now. And pretty much plays 100% of snaps for the Giants. So what else can we ask for? And he's only rostered in 1% of leagues. I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't even know who the hell he is. So what are we going to do?
Pick him up.
Let's do it. All righty. So Jamel Dean, I've literally been telling you to pick him up since week 2. And I've been right every single week since then, because in week 2, 20 points, week 3, 22 points, week 4, 14 points, week 5, 21 points. Jamel Dean, man, he gets so many tackles for the Bucks, and like they're really hard to run on. So teams are throwing on them a bunch. And so, yeah, I don't want to have a bunch of cornerbacks, necessarily on my IDP DB spots, but Jamel Dean has been so solid. 3 out of the last 4 games over 20 points. Come on, man, pick him up.
Pick him up.
Only 8% rostered. The needle hasn't even really moved on his rostership that much. Johnny said had to pop a taxi cherry this morning, get Newbin into the active roster, onto the active roster. Yeah, for sure. I know that there's a couple leagues where I probably still have him tucked away in the taxi squad. And yeah, it's time, man. It's time. He's been doing too good. Oh, I know who I'm fucking talking about. Yes. Because I was totally right on this. Here we go. All righty, we shouted out Patrick Surtain at the beginning, and I told you not to chase the points. But I also, last week, I brought up Riley Moss, okay, the guy who plays opposite of Patrick Surtain. And I said that we need to pick up a guy like this, because no matter what, Surtain is getting so respected by the teams. They're just automatically going the opposite way of him with the first look. And Riley Moss is the beneficiary of that. He has 4 out of 5 games that he's hit double-digit points. He did have a 6-point performance in week 2. Outside of that, his lowest performance was 15 points in week 3. I told you to pick him up last week after his 21-point performance to the Jets, and then he comes out with a 19-point performance with the Raiders. So, notice a trend here. Pick him up.
Pick him up.
No matter what, his volume is going to be safe, because teams will always be throwing to the opposite direction of Surtain more than they'll be throwing to his direction. Marco said, pick up Dean when I already got Brisker, Branch, and Hamlin. Probably not, but I know Brisker is not going to play this week. You probably don't. I don't know if you have an IR spot. But they said he's not even traveling to London because of the concussion. So if you can put him in the IR spot, time to do it. I normally don't mention guys when they're on bye, because a lot of this video is like, who are you going to pick up and play? That's why I don't just like read off the top of the list and who scored the most and yada, yada. Because there's like a lot of thought process that goes into it. It's about who you can pick up and start like right away. So Harrison Smith, He has double-digit points every single game of this year. Even if you don't pick him up during the bye week, I would just make a note somewhere to like make sure you pick him up before they come back, because he's been very solid, double-digit points in every game, and that's what else can you ask for with some of these guys? If you're running multiple DBs, you got a couple flex spots, this is going to be someone that you can always potentially put in there. And when all these bye weeks and stuff start getting real thick, you're going to wish you had a guy like him. Marco said in that league, I can only put players in IR that are IR or suspended. Ew, that sucks. That sucks. Tomas dropped Keenan and Kirk for Bigsby and Juju. I mean, my gut, like my first initial reaction is like, yeah, man, like fuck those guys. It might not be worth it, but man, is it worth it to keep holding on to them? Like, I don't know. I don't think so. So I would make a move, man. Sean's going to offer to trade Pittman for Puka. Dumb. I have 2 easy matchups before Puka will be back. I feel like if you start that high, you're going to have to pay more when they say no. So I feel like I might start a little bit lower than Pittman. I'm not saying lowball the person, but that can always be in your back pocket as like, you know, maybe like a final, you know, thing. But I wouldn't throw him out first. Want to build a playoff team. Yeah, I mean, Pittman with Flacco is going to be really good. So I just wouldn't get rid of him for nothing. Let's see. Huh. How do I not know who this guy is? Hold on, guys. I just learned about somebody new right now. Huh. This is crazy. But yeah, even myself, when I do these videos, I literally like learn about people as well. That's like one of the main reasons I do this. It's not just about me giving you guys the information. It's about me getting all this information too. All right. Very interesting. All righty. Here we go. DB for the Jaguars, one of their safeties, Antonio Johnson. Surprised I have not really... I'm surprised this guy has not hit my radar until now. And maybe it's because his games were kind of mid. I mean, 16, 10, 11, 13, you know, 5, 6, whatever tackles. 19-point game in this past week versus Indy. You got Chicago. They're a pretty good matchup for the DBs as well because of how much Caleb chucks it around. He's playing damn near 100% of snaps. Double-digit points in every single week. A lot of good things. A lot of good signs. So I would say Antonio Johnson.
Pick him up.
Probably like a really good dynasty pickup as well. And yeah, redraft. You need a guy who's going to get you 10 points. Like, man, he's throwing down a good project. He's throwing down a very consistent array of games here. Very consistent. He's been a very consistent over these 5 games. That's for sure. Second year guy. This is why they let go of Rayshon Jenkins, apparently. No, there's one more guy that I could talk about here. Maybe that's it. How many did I talk about? That's what sucks. I should be like marking these down or something. Let me see. Who did I talk about? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I talked about a good amount of people. All right, he's gonna be the last one. I'm gonna close this out. Andres, what up, homie? Say what up, brother? Smoke up. Let's get it. You think it's time to drop Calvin Ridley for someone on the waiver wires? I don't know about Will Levis. I don't know about Will Levis either. Like, he really sucks. Like, I've been very vocal about how much I hate Levi's. But they have a really good matchup versus the Colts this week. So I wouldn't drop him before this week because I really think he has a good game. And then maybe you could trade him after this week, maybe get some kind of trade value. But yeah, don't drop him before this week, not versus the Colts. They've been, I mean, look at what the Jags did to him. Like, look what Brian Thomas did to him. And Frank said, let's look at Tyler Newman, just seeing his uptick and snap. Oh, yeah. Like, Frank, shout out, bro. What up, homie? Just talked about him, dude. He was one of the peeps that I talked about right now. Yes, sir. He was my favorite rookie to grab in Dynasty. And I know I've mentioned him before on one of these waiver wire videos, but he had a couple games where he was a little just whatever. All right, let me close this out for the IDP. And there you have it. Another IDP video for your IDP savants. You know that nobody is bringing the IDP heat like me. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. That will be your biggest fantasy resource all season for IDP, but also for offense. Go check out all the waiver wire videos that I posted yesterday. And we have the dopest fantasy community around. I know I'm biased, but there's so many people who will say the exact same thing. Make sure you go join our private fantasy community on Patreon. It's 420crew.com. It's like our private social media. And there's an app that you'll be able to use to stay in the mix of like things getting posted, group chats. We got a Discord, whole bunch of things going on. Now, what you did on this video, I need you to rinse and repeat because I'm bringing the heat. Click on one of the videos that's popping up right now and go down the rabbit hole. We'll see you guys next time. All right, there we go. And Andres said, thanks, man. That's what I was thinking. Yes, sir. Johnny said, Marte Mapu on the Pats did a good job with Duggar out. Yeah, I'm hoping that Duggar's not out for too long, but yeah. Frank said, great schedule for DBs. Hell yeah. Toyota won one league, hurting so bad with IDP, another league. I can't decide which IDP to put in. Decisions. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. And Papa J Moss over Jalen Jones, who Fanga injuries killing me. I mean, I feel like you can't really go wrong with like either one of those guys, but I feel like versus the Chargers, I feel like I do want Riley Moss. All right. Gonna get ready to get up out of here. 3 almost 4 hour live stream. We just got done with the IDP. I keep telling myself I need to be quicker, but it's so fun smoking weed and just talking with you guys. This is the most fun part of like, everything that I have to do, editing, thumbnails, all that shit. This is the fun part out of everything. Everything else is like the actual work, like the smoking weed and talking with you guys. Man, it's crazy that like, when people throw down the super chats or whatever, and it's like, it's crazy that I can actually make some money, from this, because literally smoking weed and talking, like, man, I know there's one time where Vanessa, like early on in this, when I was 2020 or whatever, when like the super chats first hit, and I'm just like told her, I was like, we made like this much like off of the super chats, and it wasn't even $100, probably like $50 or $60, and she was like, who the fuck do you think you are, making money and smoking weed? Oh man, feels awesome. And Crispy said, what percentage of fab would you use on Marvin Harrison or Kyren Williams? So guillotine league, right? Yeah, I feel if don't skimp, you need them. Yeah, it like now is the time, like depending on how sketchy you think some of your players are. Like now there's been 5 teams that are eliminated. Like now it's getting down to what, 13 teams, 12 teams or whatever. Like, so you should have a somewhat decent lineup to where you think you can compete with damn near everybody like in the league. if you don't feel like every single one of your starters is solid, you better spend a shitload, whether that's 40%, 30%, maybe even 50. I mean, it depends on how much you have. But like, these are guys, I mean, at this point, the only guys you're really going after and spending a crazy amount of money on the guys you think could potentially be league winners. And both these guys could potentially be league winners for sure. Sean, do you think Aaron Jones is worth more or less than Pittman in terms of trade value? Probably less because he's hurt, for sure, and because he's on bye. Like that, like, you know, hurts the trade value a little bit, not like exponentially or anything, but it does hurt the trade value a little bit. So I'd say Pittman right now, but when they announce that Richardson is starting, it gets, you know, then his value kind of drops. But yes, sir. And thanks for being so active on Twitch, Sean's, because I like right now I'm streaming on Twitch, on YouTube, in multiple places on YouTube, in Facebook, and in Rumble, and like Twitch. I love Twitch. It's super dope, but we don't get a lot of engagement over there a lot. So like, you know, I appreciate you being so active over there, bro. And he said, wonder how they decide about Flacco. I think they're going to leave it up to Anthony Richardson's injuries, which are not good. But I don't think they're horrible, like, either. They just look way better with Flacco. Like, it's a really tough situation. And I've said this before. If you have a rookie QB, like, you really shouldn't be starting them right away. Because if you have to sit them because they're not ready, totally fucks with their head. Like, just why wouldn't it? You know, like, you're the guy. You've been the guy forever, you know? And like, now you got to take a back seat. Like, Bryce Young's handling it pretty well, like, right now, but like, not a lot of people like handle it well. Like, Bryce Young's actually being like a pretty good teammate, you know, like right now. So at least he's doing the right things, not being like a little bitch after he got you know, benched for Dalton. Cause yeah, we see guys go both ways. Like, you get benched and they start acting like just like real pieces of shit. And like, nobody you know, you just know you're never starting for that team like ever again. JDC, I love Twitch too, but switched over to YouTube to be with the crew. Hell yeah, bro. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, because that's where everybody is mostly watching on the Fantasy Football Hustler YouTube channel. All right. Let's shout out the producers of the show before I get out of here. All our 420 crew Patreon members. You guys are the shit. Our ultimate priority member, Mr. Justin Pickle in a Jar. Our all access members, our elite members, superstar members, and of course, the 420 Ride or Die crew members. You guys are the shit. It's because of you guys that we're able to do this show multiple times a day and go harder than anybody in the fantasy football space. Let's go. Finish this bowl. We're going to get up out of here. Go check out the waivers, guys. I appreciate it. You guys going and watching the videos, even if it's in double speed, helps the algorithm. You hitting the like button, throwing in comments, like, really helps the algorithm. So if you guys could do so, please, I appreciate you. Andres, I just let the homies in on your channel. Appreciate you, bro. And not everybody takes the fantasy advice. Some just like coming around for the vibes and all that. So yeah, I appreciate anybody who shares who shares the streams or puts people on, because yeah, you never know how, like, someone could become my biggest supporter. Like, you never know. And they might not even take my fantasy advice. Like, so might not even hurt you, like, fantasy wise. So I appreciate anybody who tells people in leagues about the crew. And we got a lot of leagues that are going to be going down. Like, that's another reason you want to just like get people like around this community, because we do a lot of leagues together. The next leagues that we're starting are going to be for the NFL playoffs. So like, you know how leagues are ending in January? I got a whole new set of leagues that are going to open up for a 3-week tournament. And then we got the Super Bowl and 2 weeks off. And then we got dynasty leagues that are going to start. $30 dynasties, $55 dynasties. Dynasty's a little over 100 on the first year for the buy-in. And so, yeah, like that's one of the most fun things about this community for sure is like all the leagues that I put together and commission. And I've been doing that for a long time. And this year is just taking it to the next step. And the playoff leagues are super dope, man. They're so fucking fun. Look at what Johnny said. The playoff leagues are so fun. And it's when the party is ending for everybody except for us. I keep the party going because we're all addicted. We all fucking love it. We love it too much to let it stop. So let's go. Appreciate you guys. I'm working on getting these videos edited, or this video edited, and we'll catch you on the flip side. We got Stevie B that'll be here for the Dynasty Life a little bit later tonight, 7 p.m. West Coast time. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to swing an evening show tonight, but potentially. So just be on the lookout. And so if you guys don't see me tonight, well, I'll be back tomorrow. We got Start and Sit Wednesday. We'll see you guys later. Peace out, Papa J. Peace out, Johnny and Andres and Toyota One and Jay and Sean's on Twitch and everybody. If I didn't say Crispy, everybody who's in here, if I didn't mention you, appreciate you guys. And we're out.
Defense on me.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.